Jordan?
I didn't. What?
All right, and on that bombshell, we are live. We are that D&D podcast with very special guest John Harper doing the final episode, or maybe it isn't, of Candles in the Dark, our Blades in the Dark little mini campaign. As ever, am Andrew Otway. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
It really is.
And also
perfectly every time until now.
It's the neck of this beer. Also, just want to welcome all guys, gals, and non-binary pals to the channel. And then we should go around the horn and introduce ourselves in disc order.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Tonight I'll be playing the Hound, Beatrix Alexander, aka Gray. Sometimes a sniper, sometimes a bodyguard. Usually just very intimidating, looming in the background.
I was gonna say always a badass.
Yeah, we might be seeing more of that in the opening moments tonight.
No, not if you get her to start singing show tunes while she's drunk.
Oh man.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'll be playing the part of Coraline Athadoc. She is the slide of the party. Her alias is Hook. She is the one who introduces romantic entanglements into our everyday lives. And I guess she just has problems saying no to bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Shit just got real.
Uh-oh. John just brought out a book, and I'm worried.
He's also muted himself.
Yeah, sorry. I got excited. Hi, I'm John Harper. I play Harrington, the lurk-ish type of character, who also brings romantic attachments onto our crew, and is a totally responsible, recovering demon blood addict, who's really left that life behind him and is not at all in thrall to mysterious beings in the ghost field that seem to be reaching out to him every time he closes his eyes. Yeah, so everything's fine with good old Harrington. Everything's totally fine. Played by Adrian Brody. He's my actor, especially the mustachioed Adrian Brody from the Hotel Budapest and other such things.
Hey, I am Jonathan. I'm playing Mortimer, also known as Max tonight. And let's see, he's standing next to a recently electroplasmed corpse, thinking job well done, and is ready to pack up and go home.
Oh no, I remember how this one ended last week.
Oh, do you? What did you do?
There's actually a memo of it in decently large font, so that I don't forget. And I think we get the previously on, and there's like a couple scenes, and and then we get like this aerial drone shot of like this expansive manor, some electroplasmic like lights shining on the backyard because it's always dark. It's drizzly because of course it is, and there's a few candles and sconces to light the rest of the backyard that the lights don't quite hit, and this sort of stillness of the night is pierced by first a howl of grief and then just like a primeval shriek of pain, because I think Coraline just gets to sneak up behind this widow and slip a spirit bane necklace on her, because that's funnier. Quite frankly.
Yeah.
The getting into trouble should be the easiest part.
What trouble? What?
Well, just to refresh our viewers, this isn't just a widow
No.
at the funeral. I mean, she is, but she is also a possessor ghost
Mhm.
inside the body of this noble person. I feel like that's an important detail that we're maybe glossing over. Um, and
And
I for one would like to know what happens when you put a spirit bane charm directly on a possessed person. 'Cause-
Give Granny some bling, as we like to call it in the industry.
the bling.
God damn it. Okay, we have an episode title. And that only took like 5 minutes. So I just want to clarify one other thing, actually, because there are
Okay.
different sort of like end results of when you put or when a ghost does things with corpses in Dustclaw. And if I'm not mistaken, a ghost possessing a corpse is a vampire? Like someone else's corpse? I believe that's how that works.
Usually, yes. Unless there's some strange magical thing
Yeah.
going on, that's the default.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think yeah, this keening primeval shriek of pain is followed by I mean, like, I don't want to just hurt Coraline because I don't know that, like, that feels a bit cheap at this point. That feels a bit too easy. But there's definitely, like, a swing and, like, Coraline, you take a pretty good hit and, like, go sliding back.
Okay.
If you want to, like, hit the ground and roll, or if you think you actually take harm out of this, I'm open to the suggestion, but...
Okay, so I was thinking of trying to resist it
Mhm.
using my resolve. Like maybe I see the blow coming, and I do that like shitty cartoon thing where I put my arms up and I just sort of slide backwards until I come to a stop.
You set your core.
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to be a noble lady wearing fancy dresses, you work on your fucking core, okay?
Plus, if anybody in this party can slide.
Well, if we have the rain just beginning, you get that great like Matrix moment too, where you're like breaking the raindrops. And,
we need some doves.
Oh,
we definitely need some.
I forgot. I still have a lot of trauma.
You
Or
do have a lot of
stress.
stress.
I have a lot of stress. This will be great.
Okay.
Boop.
So,
Okay.
Aaron, would you say that Coraline's sudden maneuver here is a surprise to the rest of your crew, or would you say that we have now enacted part of the plan?
I think like I think maybe this was something like she was idly fiddling with it when we were discussing plans. Like if there was a flashback, she's kind of got her hand like on this little pouch, and you can't figure out what it is until right now when I bust it out. And I don't think she told anybody about this. It's just like, hey, piss off, ghost, and then necklace.
See, the question I heard John ask was, Aaron, are we great at plans or are we horrible at plans?
Oh, horrible. Look,
That's the answer I have in my head, too.
I'm giving Andrew spools and spools of rope at this point.
Well, and like tying it in a nice knot and being like, oh no, it needs to be a little bigger.
Look, it's a goose.
Well,
Then I will spend my turn looking aghast from the ghost field, going.
I think like the warden does a similar thing because you were like sort of like right behind the spirit warden who was in the area.
Yeah. I
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to move into their blind spot. I thought because I wanted to eavesdrop unobserved, but now I realize like I'm in the like a strike area.
Yeah.
Basically, for because I don't know what's gonna happen now.
yeah. See, I like that idea. I'm probably going to go a little bit more humorous where I think Mortimer is, like, trying to collect evidence because he just realized, like, we did the job. I really should probably be able to prove what we just did. So, like, his head is down and, like, in the machinery at this point. And, like, he hears the scream, which is like, oh, okay, good. Things went right. And then, wait a minute. Um,
So I think actually I also came up with a complication for Mortimer because I felt you got off a little too easy last time. Um, and so you like you start going elbow deep into this machine. I'm sort of imagining like the mechanism for the cremation is like there's effectively like a shroud. The body's wrapped in the shroud. It dunks into some fluid and smoke, and spirit gets zapped into nothingness. And so like the electroplasmic chemicals that zap the ghost are probably like some kind of salt that you pump in or feed in, and they just swapped out the salt for something else. So that's sort of my estimation
Okay.
of what occurred, if that makes sense to you.
yeah.
This was occupying a lot of the background cycles of my brain for the last week, which is a very fun problem.
Mortimer can have like dummy electroplasm as evidence. Like, hey, look, they weren't using the real thing. Look what I found. And
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, like the stuff they did to make the light show look right.
Mm.
If the process wasn't actually happening, it's like, oh, these things are just cosmetic.
Cool.
But I think someone's going to come up behind you and accost you.
Well, there's so many options, actually.
I know.
But it's you feel like a firm grip on your shoulder, and it's a firm grip you have felt numerous times before in your past. And like at first there's like tension, and then there's like the sort of like soft relief of like, oh, I don't actually have to fear what's going to happen to me because I know exactly what's going to happen to me. As the like firm steel clamp grip spins you around and you're face to face with your good friend, the wealthy dowager, who was a guest at this very fancy, noble
Yep.
establishment.
Hi, Mom.
Now, Morty, and I think you hate it when she calls you Morty. Now,
Yeah, but it's nothing that I can ever say anything about.
but that's the you done fucked up name.
Mhm.
Now, Morty, what did we say about getting caught?
Well, do you count as caught?
I don't count as caught now, but you count as caught twice. Which landed my delicate person, and she is not a delicate person,
Mm-hmm.
in some rather tepid water.
I thought I took care of the water part. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Could we maybe talk about this sometime else? There's a little bit happening right now.
Would you like to try to sway your friend?
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be great because I'm good at that.
Mhm.
This is totally gonna go right.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you'd like to propose a different verb, that's also your prerogative,
Um.
right?
No, I think him not being great at influencing her is actually completely appropriate.
Okay.
um,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, it's just like, oh, I guess at least risky here, if not desperate.
I mean, you tell me. I mean, she is a friend, like she's a confidant, but I mean, if it's a relationship where Mortimer and she's using, the Morty name, like if that's enough to get
Yep.
you off balance,
What do you hope she'll do?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a good question at this point in time. I mean, like, hope totally dropped the issue completely. But like, I guess the realistic goal would be, maybe, let's talk about this later, not in the middle of the giant funeral where we just screwed it all up.
I mean, yeah, that can be the 4 to 5 is we're having this conversation later and you're going to like
Yep.
and also you're going to thank me for being generous.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just not real certain how to judge the grades of the positions.
Well, I mean,
part
so
of my question.
so the like risky or desperate or limit or controlled is how bad this can go for you.
Okay.
And then this feels great because I mean like she's predisposed to like you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, see, I think it's risky because, like,
Okay.
I just feel that the social setting limits how bad it can go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you
like,
can kind of control that as a player.
Okay.
Like, you can tell Andrew how much you want to win, and it sounds like you don't want to go for.
yeah,
She drops the issue.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think
So-
that makes sense to me.
If you say no, I don't want to push that hard, then that's saying like, I'm pushing for risky instead of desperate.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because you're not really like asking for the world. You're kind of like trying to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And you could go the other way. You could try to like, leave me alone for 1 second. I'm busy, and or like control
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, like push way back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely swaying her at all.
Okay. All right. So risky. I think you said great.
This is
but-
probably great. I mean, she likes you. It's not
Okay.
really-
Wow. Do I really want to ask for a devil's bargain in this case? I think I may just.
I mean, if there's a devil's bargain here, I think it's like I complicate like Coraline's life, or Harrington's,
Mm-hmm.
or Graves. Like,
The commotion over by the thing like draws unwanted attention to one of the other people.
yeah, or like the commotion over by the commotion is going to get like Lucian an opportunity to go do something or possibly leave.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because basically it would like distract the spirit warden,
Yeah.
which it creates an opening.
Mhm.
And I think I will take that.
Okay.
Just because this relationship is very important to Mortimer.
Sure.
So all right, yay. What is that? Two. Whew. Yep.
Hey, two's good in this game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's lucky.
Wait, is this golf? No, this is
Deuces-
the other thing.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I thought we decided before stream that deuces were wild. Is that
Yeah.
is that not what we're
they're
doing?
always wild. What are you talking about?
Yeah, deuces and jacks are wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you roll a jack,
Come on, if I roll a
impressed.
jack, you're gonna give me that.
Yeah.
Aces, deuces, and one-eyed leviathans.
It's high school again.
I think like the grip on your shoulder is going to tighten. She says, "No, Morty, we're going to discuss this now. And I don't particularly enjoy you making a bit of a scene of this, so we're going to go and like she's just basically going to like drag you off." Yeah.
Can I add a detail that?
Yep.
Tell me, Jonathan, if this is way out of line.
No, it's
I'm
fair.
picturing her grabbing you by the ear.
Yeah.
The classic, like, come with me, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Mhm.
Yep. No, that completely fits for me.
Yeah. So you're ow, ow, ow. Well, like you're dressed in like some semi-official
Yeah,
way,
like
right?
the high
Like,
technician priest robes
Yeah.
or whatever. Which I completely understand. Like the dowager's like, "Oh, that's funny. You're not, yeah, nice." But like other people looking on, it's got to be like, "What?"
well, and-
Yeah, because you're like, what are you, 16 or something?
Yep.
So the sleeves
Yeah.
are too long. And,
Yep.
You know, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
That tech fucked up.
gonna get his hide tanned. She's gonna make him find her a switch.
Go get your switch.
Go find me a switch so I can beat you.
So this thing happens with the charm, and then Coraline gets struck and,
Yep.
and slides backwards.
Mhm.
I glance at the spirit warden to see what they're doing, and then I think like, okay, well, at least we have the evidence. Mortimer's got, and at that point he's like being dragged across my view out of the room or across the lawn away, and I'm like, buh.
So I also got a devil's bargain. So Lucian is doing something.
Yeah.
Harrington. How? So you're fully invisible? That was one of the things you spent stress on?
We need to talk about this.
Okay.
So, I am not technically cheating, but it's real close.
That you've been getting a good bang for your buck with these.
I have.
Yeah.
I spent stress twice to keep it going.
Mhm.
But it's what it technically says is what does it say? It says it lasts for a few minutes rather than mere moments. So I've done that a couple times, but the whole funeral has played out.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be honest here and say, like, I'm about to pop.
I'll
back
give you
into
one
reality.
last action.
Okay.
Or actually, you can tell me something.
One last action is fine with me.
Well, so would Lucian, despite the fact that you're in the ghost field, do you feel Lucian would be able to see you?
So I have. Okay, I think the Devil's Bargain changes that landscape. I made my roll to hide myself from him, but
Yep.
the Devil's Bargain, which we all agreed to, kind of says, meh, that has run out.
Well, so Lucian's coming over to, like... Fuck it, I'll just say it. Lucian's coming over to stab someone.
Oh,
It's
1,
either
2, 3, not it.
It's either you or the
is it
warden.
me? It's me or the warden, and I can't tell at this point because
I'm giving John the choice.
I don't want to choose who he's stabbing.
Okay. Well, if he can see Harrington, he's going to stab Harrington. So I mean, it's kind of your choice.
I think the best beat here,
Or I can
and
just roll a
have-
D2.
I only have 4 stress left anyway, so
Okay.
I think the best beat here is I have this moment of like losing attention.
Yep.
Like, I thought things were going one way and now they're going another way,
Sure.
and without realizing it, Harrington doesn't know, but he softly fades back from straddling the ghost field,
Yeah.
and is just standing there exposed without hasn't noticed it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Lucian takes that opportunity to
Yeah.
attack,
He's gonna try to, just from behind you.
yeah.
And I think Gray might be in a position to do something about this as well if she'd like to. But yeah, he's going to just try to like come up behind you, put like a hand sort of around your chest to provide like some pressure, and then just like slip the blade in your back.
Ow.
Yep.
Help.
That's not where that goes.
I mean, it seems pretty dark inside Harrington.
It's totally fine.
Lucian's just not very good at operation.
He's hitting the buzzer like crazy.
God damn it.
I'm oblivious. I can resist the harm technically, but if you want to do something great, that would be awesome. If not, I'll suck it up and resist the harm and see where that goes.
I think I want attention drawn to him first, so it's
Okay.
not just nobleman randomly gets shot at a funeral.
This is the hound's way. I'm like the wounded rabbit in the,
Yeah.
in the trap.
Yeah.
Let them fight.
This is something he needs to do on his own. It really isn't.
So what am I resisting? Is this fatal?
I don't think it's fatal.
Level 3.
Yeah. It's.
I'm oblivious. Like,
Yeah.
If he's
I don't know how many people he's stabbed to death from the back before.
fair.
This is untrod territory for him.
that aren't drunk on Leviathan blood currently.
Well, I mean, most of the time they're lying down on an altar, and
Yeah.
makes lining up everything a lot easier.
Can I? Am I going to reduce the harm or avoid it, or well, I should say what I'm doing, I guess.
Okay.
I'm going to. Yeah. I mean, I am pretty finessey and prowly.
Mhm.
So I think I'm oblivious until he wraps his arm around me,
Yep.
and that snaps me out of it. So I'm gonna try to twist in his grip and like come face to face with him.
Sure.
And so like pin his hand and the knife between us, so
Okay.
it's almost like we're a dance move all of a sudden. You
Yep.
know, like we're embracing kind of, you know.
Sure.
So I'll try prowess.
That's probably a reduce.
Reduce. Okay. Yeah, it's still gonna like cut me.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Everyone do the stab.
It's the hot new trend.
May I cut in?
Oh
Nice.
jeez.
And now we have 2 potential episode titles, and you've ruined John.
Oh,
Holy
man.
shit.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
Nice.
6. Bam.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you didn't get got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take level 2 harm,
Mhm.
like knife gouge.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, like if you twist and it probably like just rakes up like
Ugh.
like it's not deep but it's long. It'll be a good scar.
It totally like cuts through my shirt, and it's this big, ragged, like shallow cut.
Yeah.
And so I my whole shirt front is soaked through.
Does it mess up your tattoo? What happens if it does?
I love
I
the
thought
idea that
tattoo's
it
on his
like
back.
grows, like it like it dodges the tattoo like under your skin. And so it's like sectioned off to just like this one part of you.
Does the tattoo take over the available space now? It's just like, now you got a cool ink scar.
Or I mean maybe it starts bleeding out.
These are all good ideas.
Get a straw, get a straw, get a straw.
I'm gonna add a clock.
Okay. Awesome.
What should we call it? Is this? Am I? Are they getting worse? In the sense that they're like growing and changing to
It splits.
or are they? Or am I losing them? Are they?
Like it's like a worm cut in half. It is 2 organisms.
Okay. Let's call this tattoo badness. You can use that however you want.
Yeah.
It's 2 tattoos, and you have 2 tattoo mouths to feed, and they want more blood.
Well,
There you go.
they're in war with each other or something.
Yeah.
Don't pick favorites. That's fucked up.
God.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. Cool. All right.
This is a good game.
I arbitrarily made it a 6 o'clock. Andrew, it's your
That's-
call.
yeah.
I just threw it on there.
Hmm. I look
and
forward to
took-
taking that up for Devil's Bargains and stuff
I
like
took
that.
level 2 harm, so I'll mark it twice.
Sounds good.
Math. It doesn't really matter.
Awesome.
But,
So yeah,
but I
you're
didn't take
you're
any stress.
faced. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got him, and like, I think if I can, and maybe I'm overreaching here, but as part of the resistance, I'd like to hold him in a way where it doesn't look like he's trying to kill me, and like maybe the overall like operation can still work out, even though someone at the party has just been knocked across the room.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, there's people freaking out, and like, there's a couple of people who's run over to Coralie and be like, "Are you okay?" And like, there's way more people running over to the widow.
Do I have a chance to like whisper or something, or like say anything to him?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll be like, "What are you doing?" And like my eyes are wide, you know.
Oh, and he's like, he probably whispered something as like his arm came around to hold you there. It was just like, it was like, "You should have stayed out of my way," or like, or like something like "Circle of Flame," yada yada. Like, it probably happened faster than
Okay.
Father will hear of this.
Yeah, if he's like blah 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 circle of flame,
Yeah.
then that's enough to
Yeah.
make the wheels turn.
Yeah, he says something vaguely incriminating, and I just don't have the words right now.
No, that's perfect because Harrington is like clueless enough that he knows what we did. We got him thrown in the hole,
Yeah.
but in the moment he's like, "Aren't you Caroline's boyfriend?" Like he's in that moment, you know. But when he's like circle of flame, you know,
Yeah.
like, Harrington is like, "Oh shit, right? You're like a wizard." Oh god.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he's actually probably like dropped the knife as well.
Okay.
All right. I almost called you Belle. Gray. I will get your name right one of these days.
So I think the reason that I missed that little scene with Harrington and Lucien was I was watching Max get dragged away.
And you're like, "Oh, the ear. I should remember that for future instances."
Taking notes.
Did she call him Morty? Okay, writing that down.
No, I think I could actually get him to march off with me somewhere with a stern voice, or just no touching, just verbal commanding.
I mean, it's not like I'm
Um,
a ghost or anything.
no. Um, I'm not sure that I actually caught what happened between Lucian and Harrington, but I probably am focusing in on that now.
Okay. Yeah. And like you see a knife clatter to the ground. It has blood on it. I don't know that it makes like. I mean, you're far.
Yeah.
Was my understanding you were up like a chandelier or something?
Yeah, like looking through my rifle scope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you're tracking Harrington like. um. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Lucian and Harrington are apparently hugging. A knife has just been discarded and it's slick with blood.
Oh, we paid for your
Silencer.
disposable silencer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's so rad. You have a
But
silencer.
there was no commotion surrounding Harrington and Lucian.
I don't think like too many people have noticed, and like, yeah, more attention is on the widow and Coraline, and the widow is like starting to like, she's still like keening and howling and crying and trying to like get free of this mob that are, feebly trying to attend to her needs, and
Ew, gross flesh.
yeah, well, and like. I mean, it's probably not too long before like someone gets flung 20 foot in the air.
Has anything super overtly supernatural happened so far, or is it just?
I think
like,
the hit
widows?
was
It was.
like I mean like Coraline slid back like a few like does like a not a dozen but like 5 or 6 meters sort of thing like
Okay.
What's the
Yeah,
warden doing?
um I think he like appears to be like either readying a blade or like going through a pouch to find some kind of like magical knickknack sort of thing.
But he's like
Uh,
going for the widow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like gonna do you do anything or you
I'm gonna wait for the warden to do something first
Okay.
because we are here unofficially.
Sure.
Um,
That is
and
a
I
very
would,
good point.
and I mean, I don't mind supporting, but it's like there's a point like patience, shooting at the right time. It's when I was hoping that Lucian obviously acted out first, so that the crowd could turn against him. Like, holy shit, that guy has a knife.
Yeah.
Then I could shoot him.
Which is why you dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think if anyone has a thing, feel free to interrupt me whenever. But yeah, the widow is going to like someone in the mob around her just gets like picked up and just like thrown like a rag doll sort of thing. The warden crushes something in his hand.
Oh no.
And effectively just like goes transparent.
That's different than I was thinking. Continue.
Like still there. Like you all have like the ghost echo thing.
Yeah.
But like and not involved in sort of like not in the ghost field, so far as you can tell, just transparent. And just starts stalking towards the group. I wonder if I don't know if they would have a thing to like catch the person, because that's probably his biggest priority right now is save that poor noble's life.
Oh, to catch the person being thrown, not
Yeah.
to catch the ghost.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. Do you just like
I think yeah, she's as she's sliding backwards, she sees the guy, like the person flying.
Yeah.
And her arms go from crossed to like she's backtracking, and like arms up to try and at least break this person's fall, make it non-lethal if possible, because then
sure?
they'll owe me.
Right.
Oof. I am likely to trauma out, and I figure this is a good way to do it.
Sure. I mean, we can do a prowess resist. That makes sense to me. I was also going to say, like, maybe finesse. No, that's a little too subtle.
Yeah, I guess prowess resist works for me. I guess, and
That
can
works.
you preemptively resist consequences?
Well, I mean, that's what the resistance is, right? It's like this person is going to fall, and
Yes, this is you and them not getting turned into paste together. Okay. Um,
I like to think of it like if you sort of do the sort of more active resistance, which is a little bit of a gray area, but it's a thing you can do.
yeah,
mhm.
You're sort of saying like, I know it's gonna work, but I'm definitely taking almost definitely taking stress,
yeah.
as opposed to like I'll use prowl to do like an athletic move, but it
Yeah.
might not work. Like I might fail, they might get hurt. So it's like you can choose between like more of a sure thing and stress and more of a gamble.
Yeah, there's still a very real possibility of shit going bad for me, if nothing else.
Hmm.
Uh,
How much stress do you have left?
2,
Oh, well, you could
and I've got 2 die in prowess, and I rolled a 4, which is just enough to trauma out. What up?
So yeah, you catch this this lady who's been hurled through the air. I think she probably passed out from like the fright and shock of it, and just lands on you like a sack of potatoes.
Okay. So I think what's happening is like I'm backing up, and okay, have you seen that video where there's that dude doing backflips and that person shoves them out of the way of the rock at the exact like last possible second so they don't? Okay, ignore that then.
Okay.
So she's flying through the air, and I think there's this huge marble column or something. Like this is a fancy place, and I think I basically just put myself between her and the column, and it just sort of you hear like a sound of probably like my head hitting the column or the wind being knocked out of me or something cracking, and I just collapse in a heap on the floor.
Well, but like I imagine like your arms around her, sort of thing, like in the last protective gesture.
Yeah, like I'm gonna I am Groot her and protect her on the way down. Groot means family.
Oh,
You proud of yourself? Cool. What trauma are you thinking of?
Probably cold. Like I think she's gonna get up and be like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing that shit ever again. Everything hurts. This asshole just walked away. I didn't get anything out of it. Like, why? Why? Why?
Why be the good person?
I'm here for that paper, son.
Gotta get paid.
Bye.
That paper that says I'm a warden. Fuck you, diplomatic immunity."
Cool. The warden is stalking over to the widow and is like yelling, like, "Get away from her! Get the hell away from her!" And I think like has like a blade just like appears in their hand backwards, so like they can do the blocking thing with it, like the defensive reverse grip. And this like just person-shaped object streaks out of this crowd and tackles them, and just like raining blows down on the warden, like a full mount ground and pound sort of thing. They don't
shoot them.
Awesome.
Who? I was gonna ask who this person was, but Gray doesn't care. So go ahead, please shoot. Don't let me interrupt. Shoot away.
Risky.
This seems desperate. Well, what do you get?
I mostly just at least want to get them off the warden.
I mean, this is probably still desperate. It's a vampire. They're inhumanly strong and fast.
Cool. Okay. What effect with electroplasmic ammo?
Between electroplasmic ammo and the fact that like they seem to have like, well, no, I was gonna say like they have a spirit bane charm that seems to have like absorbed into their chest and just like gotten stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
They're good times. You're probably up to standard.
Okay.
That seems like 2 shifts up.
I'm gonna use focused and push myself.
Beautiful.
Do it.
So you
do
get
it,
the extra
do
die
it.
and then the benefit of focused, which is expend your special armor to resist consequences of or to push yourself range combat. Okay.
I don't suppose there's a way for anyone else to assist me in this situation, separating the vampire from the warden.
I can't. I can tell you that much for sure.
I could do something to give you a bonus die, probably.
Yeah.
What would that be? Oh, How close are we, Andrew, Lucian, and I? Are we
Pretty
within?
close, because I
pretty
mean,
close?
like the warden walked directly away from you and then got tackled sort of directly back towards you. So
Yeah. Okay.
And the warden was watching Lucian originally.
If I can turn my resistance and dance move hug into like kind of a outside trip there, kind of step on his foot or trap his ankle, and use that underhook on the other arm and just kind of like pitch him sideways, like he comes at me, I turn inside and then like whoop, like kind of spin him sideways.
Maybe you throw him into the vampire off of the warden.
Kind of, yeah, kind of like just tangle up some limbs there, enough so that maybe Gray's shot is a little cleaner.
I'm okay with hitting both of them.
Okay, well in that case, I could.
Alright.
So we have an option. I can assist you and give you a bonus die with stress. I can do a setup action with, I don't know, finesse or prowl or something to increase your effect if you want that.
Let's do the resist thing just because I like the imagery of throwing Lucian into the vampire in the fray.
Cool.
And who knows, maybe he'll get shot.
All right, take a
Okay,
bonus die
so
for me.
that's 2 bonus die and
Oh,
I hate this.
4, 4, 4.
Oh. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't actually help.
So the sound of the electroplasmic shot is definitely muffled. Bullet comes streaking out. Harrington has pitched, like, I'm kind of imagining a circle throw, but that's not quite what you described. But
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You go back and you pitch him over you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lucian goes flying, smacks into the vampire, probably catches like a punch that was going for the warden's face on the way. Which, yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm sorry, Coraline, your boyfriend is slightly less pretty.
I was done with him anyway.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
You are cold.
I had him around for one reason, and you've just ruined that. So just take him out.
Cold
Zero
indeed.
to, 0 to cold in like 2 seconds.
And the shot, I think it hits all 3. Like, the 3 of them are all sort of tangled up. And there's, like, this thunderclap of electroplasm. The vampire is stunned. Lucian, between the punch and the shot, is unconscious. And the warden seems to be pretty sluggish as well.
Okay. I kind of want to take another shot.
Do it. I mean, you're in the best
Yeah.
position to deal with this, I think. So
I think this time I'm gonna try for like push myself again, but I'm just gonna aim for the vampire.
Okay.
Desperate.
Trying to think of a good devil's bargain here.
the silencer has been expended, and now
Yeah.
the vampire knows where you are. Maybe.
Oh, that's a fun second clause to that. Yes.
Whew.
Cool. And
That's a very good second half of that.
oh my god, are you serious?
Oh, fours. Look, you're a
No,
very good sniper. You're
It's
just
the same exact number. I'm
It
curious.
is.
Yeah.
You are a force to be reckoned with.
just cannot escape trouble and danger.
Boo hiss.
So
I don't even care.
So through my scope, does the vampire like immediately turn to look at me?
Oh, no.
Well, like the shot rings out. The vampire, like as the bullet is like traveling, looks at you like basically through the scope and locks eyes with your one eye. Grabs Lucian without looking, holds him up to take the shot.
Ooh.
Like looks like frazzled because like the electroplasm still affects the vampire. Tosses him aside. I think his body like crunches against a pillar. Off like just off shot, but there's like a crunch.
You're welcome, Huck.
Uh-oh.
And then like grabs the warden by the ankle and then just like starts darting towards you, dragging the warden along with.
Yeah, it's practically weightless for the vampire, right? So it's like, meh, whatever.
I was gonna say this is a resilient ass vampire taking 2 shots like it was nothing.
Shots.
How many shots does it take
Well, it hasn't been two,
to get to the center of
it's been
Yeah.
2 non-direct shots.
yeah.
I thought it was like a partial success.
I mean, yes, but they're also desperate.
Yeah.
Does anyone?
It's not over yet.
Yeah. Does anyone else intervene or?
Well, is the vampire's charging her up in her chandelier nest?
Well, just running towards the house. Like it'll take a bit of time to get there. I mostly just really want to see Gray waste a vampire with her pistols.
Yeah. Pistol weapon.
Well, because what I was thinking is that the electroplasm is bad for the spirit types, right? So if she's sitting in the middle of a chandelier of electroplasm, I'm like gonna like somewhere down and below, I'm gonna set it up so that when the vampire goes through it, it flares.
Or like a UV light.
Yeah, and just to try and give Gray more of an option to actually do something up close.
Okay, so like we're saying, the Dowager dragged you towards the house.
Yeah,
And you're
like,
like-
we're going by like the control panel or something. I'm like, 1 minute.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. This sounds like a desperate tinker. Or-
Yeah.
I mean,
So
so
wreck, but they're the same thing.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Do you want it to like explode
Yes.
and just shower electroplasm down? Like you just overload these electric lamps.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
yeah.
a wreck.
Yeah.
Is that going to leave
Yep.
like everyone in darkness right now?
Listen, so maybe it hasn't been thought through. Okay,
Devil's
we established
bargain.
Where we are in the planning.
Devil's bargain.
Yes.
Yeah.
The devil's bargain is yes. You overload all of the lights.
If there's anything I've learned, it's that vampires are actually more afraid of the dark than you are of them. If I remember how that goes.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I'm sure that's true. All right, so is that desperate there? That sort of sounds
Yes.
like it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember what you want for effect is standard or what.
This
don't know.
this is like a lot of electroplasm, so I'll give you standard for this. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the devil's bargain is gonna make the whole place go dark.
Yeah.
I'm totally taking that. And I think I'm also gonna push myself because Gray is in danger, and that is not cool.
She saved me once, now I will save her, or something like from servitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never fought a vampire or heard of anyone fighting a vampire. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
No, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here with the vampire thing. So this is fine. So that looks all good. All right. Oh.
4s for everyone.
Oh. Fours. We're the fourth tower now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting
And
downgraded.
both of my resist rolls, I got a 4 also. So there's some sort of weird bullshit happening here.
We used
4.
up all our luck in the first episode.
This
Yeah.
is the 4th episode, our 4th session. Just like you know,
Ooh.
Yeah,
there's some
there you go.
predestination shit happening here, and I'm not okay with it.
So I mean, like you get the vampire, at least a little bit. Like it slows it down. I think there's like a second of like, great, there's two assholes I gotta deal with. Like, who do I rip limb from limb first, sort of thing. In that second of hesitation, the warden, who is thus far being kind of a chump, I think like has another thing out of their pouch and crunches it again. I really like the mental image of these wardens just like crushing like small glass like talismans or whatever to power their magic. And so like there's this functionally just a flashbang as just after like, and then all the lights go out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now we can leave.
Another successful mission.
Yeah. Coraline. Well, does anyone other than Coraline have a thing they'd like to do in this moment? The vampire has one last chunk of health left on their clock. So who wants?
I totally do. It's like I've been taking way too many shots.
I mean,
No, you should. This is your thing. Like your character is all about this. Yeah, do it. Do it.
Does Mortimer doing that to the vampire give me a better position? What? Yes.
I can assist you for free because I have foresight, so I
Oh,
already did it.
hey.
Yeah.
Tell me how you do it.
Well, tell me what you're doing, and I'll tell you how I set you up for success.
I shoot the vampire.
Are you jumping? Like, are you gonna jump down from the chandelier with like a cool rope thing and be firing both guns into the air while shouting "ah"?
I was using my rifle, not my pistols.
Oh, that's fine too.
I could switch to my pistols. Like
You did
saying-
just have a dramatic explosion of lights flashing everywhere. So, I mean,
Yeah.
pistol switching is appropriate.
Yeah, well, that and maybe my rifle has like 2-3 shots before I have to reload.
sure.
Oh, because the
Yeah.
silence are following it right
Yeah,
now.
that makes sense.
Or the silencers being sufficiently degraded means.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you have to shoot someone in the dark too, you know, you can just sort of like push the guns against them. It's like do it by feel.
Blind pistol fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, 'cause, like,
position-
imagining like some of the electroplasm is still on the vampire, so you know where to shoot. Is the
Oh.
glowy thing coming
There's
to
like
your face?
residual,
Well, that's-
residual sparks and
It's just
stuff.
it's like streaming off of it.
Oh,
Well,
that's
and like
good.
smoking
That's good.
off of them because it's anathema.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yep.
pissed off comet running straight to you.
But the plus side, you can see it.
Yes.
Okay, so I have an idea, and it's kind of super dumb. So let me know what you think about it. So you're wearing like a suit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I gave you little. It's like I put a reinforcement, like a piece of armor, in the back of your jacket.
Mhm.
So when you go to shoot this thing, at one point you slide and you can keep going like way further than it expects you to, and you just go under and just fucking light them up.
But you're gonna say something like, "There's like a bungee cord somewhere in the back of my suit," and it just go back up top of the chandelier.
The enemy gate is down, and then you just. And I could also just give you like this harness thing, and you pull yourself up to the chandelier, and like you're standing underneath it thanks to like the tension, and you're just shooting down at this thing, and it's completely fucking confused.
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of hanging like upside down from the chandelier and shooting at it.
It's very The Matrix 2.
So desperate, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 stress to push myself. Effect.
Standard.
Okay.
And yeah, you've got help.
2 6s.
Whoa!
What?
There we go.
There we go.
That vampire is gone.
Gray showed up right at the
So
end there.
Paint me a
Like,
picture.
I see it coming closer. I chuck my rifle to somewhere to be held by the chandelier as I swing over the side, hanging down, twirling like my pistols from their holsters, and like just kind of every time they reach for me, one shot after the other. Probably saying something about some sermon from Ecstasy of the Flesh as I'm shooting it, kind of like just staring at it. I'm not unnerved that there's a vampire. I'm just like fucking going for it.
The power of flesh compels you.
Yes.
And there is a righteous indignation waiting for those who succumb to the pleasures of the spirit. And there is a...
It's too bad I used my rifle first, because killing it with perdition would have been great.
Mm.
Well, and I'm just thinking of the imagery for everybody in the place. Is it goes dark, you might see the vampire because they're all smoking and stuff like that, and then two bright strobe flashes, and then the vampire's just gone.
Yeah. Probably something along like the lines of like the dead should stay dead.
Nice.
Is this about the time that Coraline wakes up?
Well, yeah, it's like the dead should stay dead, and like, the empty vessel must be destroyed or something, or like the empty vessel is, or I don't know, is not to be filled again or something. Because like a vampire is a ghost in a corpse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just kind of to further cement the picture for people watching at home, like the voice I had in mind was the female crusader from Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Good.
So, something kind of like deep, commanding, but also musical a bit.
Mm-hmm. Faith restored. That's really good. I really like this role-playing game. You've murdered a vampire.
I didn't think that was going to work, honestly.
I think if Coraline can wake back up, she kind of tries to compose herself and not look like she just got sort of crushed against the column. She stands up and she walks over to the vampire corpse and like plants her foot on this thing's chest and leans over, and as she pulls her spirit bane necklace off of it, she says, "Good night, Grandma," and then walks away.
Well, like it's like if the like talisman part of it has embedded itself in the flesh, like it's like it's malleable at like soft Play-Doh or something, where this charm has touched it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andrew, can we and group everyone, this is a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing in the darkness and the shooting and the flinging of people, like the nobility in general is like scurrying and panicking and finding their way to the front of the house where the carriages are and everything. The spirit warden is right there, like getting out of her clutches, right?
Yeah.
The image I had in my mind, and then I was like, wait, I should ask about this. I don't know what our team... we have to think about this. Like, should we, like, be there and, like, reach out to the spirit warden and be like, we got you, and, like, have the moment of, like, being legit and being overt, or should we disappear into the night and, like, let the spirit warden deal with it?
I would totally want to go up to the spirit warden now.
Yeah.
Like, lower myself from the chandelier, make my way over. Reach down a hand.
Yeah, because it's like,
yeah,
we're not apparently good enough to be spirit wardens, but we pulled your ass out of the fire and we're helping your ass off the ground after we killed the vampire that tripped you.
Ambitious and reckless.
I don't know that Gray would be that hostile towards.
I don't think I would say it, but I think it's just like a nice kind of subversion of the existing sort of relationship between us and the warden.
I think it should definitely be Gray, and then like as you pull them up, we're standing there and they like see us.
The hero lineup.
Totally. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Yeah.
And then like the end of that like quick scene is like Mortimer getting dragged off by his ear again.
Yep.
Right?
I wasn't done yet.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you've had your fun now.
What part of that was fun?
I'm fighting a vampire. Oh, I'm fighting a vampire. Come with me.
He'll be there when I'm done.
So is the vampire like the vampire's incapacitated if that's what happens? They're dead. Like the spirit is dead and the corpse is just a rotting pile of meat now. If that's what happens. Like what happens to a vampire when it gets shot repeatedly with electroplasm?
They start burning and shriveling from the shots kind of spreading out.
Okay.
And wither.
Oh, I'm imagining like an implosion, like not a full implosion, but like
Right.
they start collapsing in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, that's really good. It's like they're hollow again,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so they like.
Well, and they've left the vessel emptier than they found it.
Totally.
Jerk.
That's a nice image. Yeah, that's really good.
I think the warden like dust themselves off, like the last little bits of glass inside their glove, like they shake out to the floor. Returns the handshake. I think they like you get like the feeling of recognition, like this is someone who is at least aware of your organization.
Yeah.
Definitely surprised to see you here.
Mm-hmm.
Very incredibly surprised, one, to be alive, two, that the vampire is dead.
Yes.
And like I don't know that they necessarily know like how or what to say at this exact moment, and so they're like, we need to like clean this up and like pick up the like 20 pounds soaking wet of skin and bone that the vampire left behind. And they're gonna go take a trip over to the little portable crematorium and just.
Well, that and a bell probably rang when Lucian got shot.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Hucked?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think he's dead.
oh, I thought he was totally dead. Like his spine cracked when he hit the pillar or something.
Hey, can I make sure he's dead?
It's a mercy killing.
I want to like. I'm not sure if there's a fortune rule here or not. To be like, is he dead, or did he leave?
Mm.
But I mean, like, if it feels cheap that he's still alive and like got away, I'm cool with that seeming cheap. At the same time, okay.
Wait, say again, Jordan.
I think he should be like totally not able to escape.
Okay.
Like,
And
like-
I kind of like the imagery of like me walking up and having like this, oh honey, are you okay? And then, just like leaning in and be like,
He's lying on his back. He's gasping for breath. Like there's blood all over the everything that he's been coughing up, and he's struggling to breathe. Like his spine is severed. His ribs are broken. He's kind of still like partially wrapped around this like marble column.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so killing him would be a mercy at this point. Okay, does he have anything on him that like looks magic-y and cool? I'm just gonna take it and leave.
That's a really good question. He probably would have something.
Yeah, I figured like maybe if he's got like a ring or some sort of like necklace or like, a book.
Memento Mori.
I think there's like a section of like, so I think the Circle of Flame have like a brand that they apply to the members, and it's something that goes like on or above the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to take that, that's a thing that could happen.
The brand
I mean, it's evidence, right?
off of him?
Listen,
Wait.
you're a spooky demon lady. I'm not going to tell you what is and isn't cool. I'm giving you a loot table.
So if I have documents, can I like pull his shirt open, put like a piece of paper over the brand, and like get a charcoal and like get an exact copy of it to bring with me?
Sure.
Okay. And I think she's gonna do that and like just kind of lean down and give him a little kiss on the forehead and say, "Have a good night," and then just walk off.
Oh, and like leave him there gasping for breath. And okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like there is probably also some like ring or something, like some signet on him. But like it's gonna be Bomord as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jordan, I really fucking hope you're proud.
I might be, yeah.
Because the rest of us are sitting here.
Viewers, we are not laughing at Aaron's amazing narration here. We're laughing at what's happening in chat.
Yeah.
Jordan turned his whole thing into fucking careless whisper.
I'm really sorry.
He's never gonna dance again.
No. It is a beautiful thing of wordplay that has like ogre levels of layers to it. So, I mean,
He should have known better than to cheat a friend.
It's true.
mhm.
Careless whispers get what careless whispers get. You know what I mean?
Just so everybody in the Discord is aware, chat is showing up, so people at home will be able to, like, even in the VOD, will be able to experience this in full.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
Well, if you're listening to the audio version, you can't. Is the
Yeah.
problem.
yeah.
Oh God, that's okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think the warden will excuse themselves at this point. They're actually like, I don't want to say deferential because I don't think a warden is ever deferential to just about anyone. That's not a skill that they're especially prized for. But like polite is probably the thing. Like saying thank you and please, and like if anybody gives them a hand, hucking the like vampire corpse into the thing.
Not dismissive, which is
Yeah.
practically, really, really, really awesome.
Sure. Like, this warden is effusive with praise, which is to say they aren't, like, they aren't just pretending you don't exist.
Yeah.
I don't think I expect it anymore after, like, decades of doing stuff like this outside of their organization.
Yeah, but I know we need to take our break, but I want the telltale, the warden will remember this.
Yes.
That's what I want out of Gray's move here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the crit is, like, yeah. Like, that was... They aren't sure a warden could have done it. Whatever you did.
Nice.
I think some of the shots I took were actually, like, directly in their eyes.
Yes.
I mean, like, the
The window
vampires,
to the soul.
obviously, but...
Yeah. Did you use the ghost field at all? Like, the warden has no idea. But,
No.
like, just to pull that off, did you, like, shoot the vampire's ghost in the ghost field with ghost echoes?
Not intentionally or something
Okay.
that I actively did. Maybe there's some residual effect after teleporting around with Harrington.
Mhm.
But it wasn't something that I was actively doing, no. I was
Okay.
just hanging upside down.
I just think that's a really cool, like, mental image of, like the shell holding the vampire has
Yeah.
finally failed, and there's, like, this spirit, and you just, like, track it into the ghost field, and poof, and that's, like, the one that
Maybe-
gets it.
Maybe as I was, like, speaking the verses out loud while doing it, there might have been, like, the occasional slip in.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, not something I actively did, just something that
Sure.
coincidentally happened.
Awesome. God,
Cool.
what a good crew.
Hey, Blades is kind of fun. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, any game is good when you have a good GM.
Aw. I also hate that argument, but thanks.
Yeah, I know. We've had that argument like 7 times now.
I was being super facetious, and then I was like, "Am I being like really nice to Andrew or mean?" I'm not sure what yeah. Anyway, Yeah,
Um,
this game's fun. You guys
yeah.
are great. Both of those are true.
We can take a
Aw.
quick break now and then wrap this up because it feels like this is more or less done. The warden is going to go do some glad handing and like, oh yeah, I killed the horrible beast.
Yeah.
Yes, I have ideas.
Okay.
But we should
Oh.
do that. We should do that after
Okay.
It died under my watch.
when we come back.
All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, stick around. We'll be right back within like 5-ish minutes ish, with more Candles in the Dark. All right, and we are back from our break. I hope everybody had a good 5-ish minutes there. I know mine were acceptable. So we're wrapping up things at this estate. The warden has rounded up sort of the scared people, let them know that the danger is past. Thanks to the intervention of some, trustworthy and reliable citizens, we've been able to. Wardens don't gotta tell the truth. And Coraline hasn't taken looking into a mirror, so I don't have to tell you that's a lie. But yeah, rounded everybody up thanks to the help of some good, reliable citizens. Yada yada yada. Gas leak. Blah blah blah. Go about your daily lives.
So weather balloon reflecting off of swamp gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the planet Venus.
Seems right.
So yeah, they're smoothing everything over. I think we get a quick shot of Mortimer getting a dressing down from the Dowager. She's not gonna inflict anything upon you. It's more just I thought I taught you to hide your tracks better, and when you don't hide your tracks, it comes back on me because nobody expects the 16-year-old screw up.
Yeah, and I think he listens to most, which kind of, and it just kind of ends with, "Vampire's still dead."
Boosh.
And she's just gonna I think she musses up your hair, and she's like, "Okay, get the fuck out of here!"
God
or
damn
no,
it, Jordan.
or next time it's you owe me a bottle or something,
Yeah.
All right, let's see what horrible bullshit Jordan has typed.
Yes. She's not there. What is with the old ladies ganging up on me? Come on, stop it.
It's a faction-based thing. Old ladies are all on faction. That's how they all get the strawberry-shaped candy.
We've been infiltrated. She's from the Greys. She's not Grey.
Ooh.
There are a lot of Dimmer sisters.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
I think it was the Marielda mini campaign that Austin ran with friends at the table, and all of their magic was tea based, and I was like, holy shit, they're tea witches, of course. That's so good.
In the roleplay series, Anne's character basically just really wanted to have chocolate chip cookies with them. That was her dream for her character.
That's that's really good. Oh.
What she did do.
I mean, don't let your dreams be dreams, kids.
That's right.
I can't remember if I came up with a name for the Spirit Warden or not. I don't think I did. And it would be the call sign for them, right?
Yeah, their alias or whatever.
Yeah. And then they're gonna have some.
What's the Spirit Warden's? Because they probably have an organizing principle for their names, right? It's their minerals or their birds or their, I don't know. They have some kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think this one's call sign is toll, a bell.
Toll.
Yeah.
And pay the toll. That's nice.
Yes. Yeah, and toll
Works
the
both
dead,
ways.
and yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Ooh, I minimized too many things. We're still good. Okay. I didn't break the stream. Good job, me.
Oh, right. This is. I said I had an idea. Is it pushing our crit? See how I did that? Pushing our crit too hard. To say that the extra effect. I was saying the Spirit Warden remembers this, but what I was really thinking was, what if they have been in the organization long enough? They were there back when Gray tried to join.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
It's oh, we made a mistake,
well,
or something, or whatever. I'm not going to say what they think, but
I think yep.
I was going to say, I think one of the reasons Gray wasn't admitted into the Spirit Wardens is because they have such a need for being anonymous. And Gray has made herself anything but anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
That it probably would have been like too many complications to actually take her admission very seriously.
So I think admission into the Spirit Wardens is done like very secret society style. There's a triumvirate, and you need just a simple majority of the triumvirate to say yes. They're very harsh, and what happened is we get like this brief flashback of Gray's sort of like initiation rite, and the votes come in yes, no, and then Toll abstains.
Mm.
And they're just like, I don't know if she's ready yet.
Mm-hmm. Flash to picking
Yeah.
Toll up
Yeah.
after the vampire's dead.
Yeah. I
And-
think like she doesn't know how the admission even works, so it's not like she was aware that it was actively happening.
Yeah.
I kind of picture it being like in Mass Effect when a Spectre is like shadowing someone else.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah.
And then like when Gray first wanted to join, it was like fresh after the Civil War. And she was still a little too like hot-blooded, I guess.
Well, and like, yeah, like kicking ass, taking names with the guns you named, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's not too much about Gray that says anonymous or like,
Yeah.
like can be discreet,
Right.
but you know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this starts a long-term project, and I don't think it's a particularly long-term project.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And it's just like, I don't know if it's like convince them you're ready, or if it's like you work on yourself until you are ready,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Right.
It could also be like they realize she was always ready. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe Gray doesn't have to change at all. It's
Yeah.
just they need to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Political shifting inside the group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
I mean-
like process of
Yeah.
selection has changed, or
Yeah. I mean, like, the
anonymity is
person-
being relaxed, perhaps.
Or just, I mean, one public face, not a terrible thing for an organization to
Oh
have.
shit, Jordan! Do you want that
Yes.
as a long-term project? Like that
Maybe.
the Spirit Wardens will let me join without being anonymous.
Yes.
I think it's like quasi anonymous.
Yeah.
Every other Spirit Warden has their bronze mask,
Mm-hmm.
and Gray's is made of sterling silver.
Yeah.
It's a strong look. That's
yeah,
a
or
strong look.
it could even be like a token, like it's a
Yeah.
half mask. Everyone knows it's you.
Yeah.
Like you change the whole way they do things because you're awesome.
I'm trying to remember the name for like those French. Is it French or maybe it's Phoenician like masquerade masks? But it's like silver and it's a hound.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yes. Yes. Do
But
that.
I think her being like when she was younger and she was cocky, that's what kind of set the rivalry between her and the assassin, because I wasn't really picturing them being on opposite factions in the war. They were like taking people out together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I just want to ask if you're aware of how the Civil War ended.
No, I have no idea. And so
So, it was the traitor queen and her consort, John, if I recall. But essentially, there was a traitor queen and then her consort were murdered in their bedchambers by an assassin.
This all seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know why you would have brought that up there after that.
No, that's
Her
a
domestic
yeah.
rival.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a fun twist that we can
That's real good.
just
Yeah.
like
No, I
yeah.
like it. I especially because it goes so like completely 180 to the namesakes that I had in mind for my character and the rival assassin.
Awesome, cool. It's a good game, and I like this game. So I mean,
Well, all of our downtimes now don't matter because Gray working on that project is all that matters, and that's all I want to watch for the rest of the night. So,
Yeah.
Should the three of us just like reread the book, or
so, which like do you have a preferred direction for like how this goes? Like, do you want to be like the public member of the wardens? Is that
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Like being a mascot.
that's so good.
That's hard.
The first
Mascot.
non-anonymous. What's the word for non-anonymous? Public
Nominous?
isn't quite right.
yeah?
Public is kind of boring. It's like it needs to be something cooler sounding. But you're the first.
Eponymous?
Yeah.
There's another word there for it. I
mean,
can't
just
remember.
I
Notorious.
really like, yeah, or like
Uh,
the named warden
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
what I put on the clock.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
well, if it's gonna be a clock, it'd just be like a warden's name or something like that.
so the dictionary says antonyms are known, identified, and signed. And signed is kind of fun. It's got like a
Ooh.
little bit of some stank on it.
Signed is good.
The signed warden.
But Jordan, like, are you or Gray or however you want to answer this? Is it a? Do you think it's a case where Gray is like doing something to change their minds, or is it a fact? Is it like they realize they need you in their ranks, and they're willing to bend the rules?
I think it's a realization sort of thing. Maybe like some older members who were initially the most vocal against her joining before have died since then.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of what I meant earlier with the political shifting.
Yeah.
Just people that didn't approve of her before, their voices aren't really relevant at this point.
That's great. It's new blood.
Yeah, it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
It's a new age.
The future is now, old man.
Ooh.
Alright.
I'm sorry. I was just going to reply to something Jonathan wrote. If we were going to go like the culty route, I was going to switch over to Gray's rival.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And play
Well-
that. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can
what I would-
do the cult thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well-
We'll have to think about
Yeah.
it.
but if we do that,
Right?
I think Gray is still in the wardens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's not really something I like heavily considered. I obviously thought more about Gray, but that was like an idea I had.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, if we are doing the cult route, like Gray is absolutely 1,000% against it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, her rival, who she used to be best buds with, probably wouldn't say no.
Oh. Well, no. See, I just like because what I was saying in chat for the people at home was that all the old wardens died in mysterious circumstances because it's a plot by her rival for some reason to get Gray into the wardens. And I'm like, I have no idea what the answer to that is, like why they would do that. But man, there's so many interesting ideas there.
No, I mean, I totally pictured them as not being rivals that hated each other, but like the Dragon Age 2 rival mance sort of thing. There's like a lot of tension, but still like impressed with each other.
So for people at home, we're talking about a hypothetical season 2 this is like a very compressed season of Blades in the Dark.
Yep.
But if we do a season 2, there's kind of these obvious poles to go towards: the cult, or maybe being spirit wardens legitimately, which happens that we will have a crew sheet for that in the near future. So that will be a nice, like a real choice to make instead of like one and then question mark. But I think this is a case where we have some potentially interesting stakes for downtime happening right now. Like, we're about to go into downtime, but we're gonna do stuff and say things and care about stuff that's gonna inform season 2 in some way, probably. So that's fun. It's fun to think about as like a way to treat the second season, and also a way to treat downtime as a little like somewhat exploratory process. So I don't know. We haven't decided. We haven't like agreed to anything as a group. So we're gonna just play and see.
Still all up in the air.
Gonna play to see what happens.
What a concept. Somebody should write that down in a book.
Yeah. And then sell it. I'd buy it.
I love you, Vincent. I love you.
He makes good product. Cool. So yeah, I think we're. Oh yeah, I have to like pay you and stuff.
My God.
Oh yeah, right.
Damn right you do.
So if I recall correctly, most of the bribe was, let's say, appropriated.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, that happens sometimes, right?
Yes.
But let's start with payoff. The crew earns 2 rep per score by default. Cool. Take +1 rep per tier higher. I don't know the tier of a vampire.
I'm gonna assume it's not low.
3, maybe.
Probably like 3
Yeah.
or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 5, which is one more than I tipped.
Yeah, I was gonna say if taking out a vampire is enough to kind of get the spotlight back on Gray to like being, hey, we should get her into the wardens. It seems like it's a pretty big get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Is like,
Well, and I think the other thing, at least as far as rep goes, is it happened in front of a room full of nobles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
And like a boss, effectively, in our organization.
yep.
Yeah.
No, I think that feels good. That's
Yeah.
we have a lot of rep now, so that
Right.
it feels right.
Okay.
Even though we keep spending it.
Yeah.
We probably are about to spend a lot of it, but
Yeah.
Beautiful. Next step is and there's some coin to go here. So I think it was like there was a bunch of coin in the bag, which Celine has taken and is having the night of her life. Which honestly she probably earned.
Yeah.
Because she was like bodyguarding nobles out of there, like at least like the person who was directly employing her.
And she worked on our first job for free, basically. So
Yeah. She's shown up every time so far.
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, she's getting probably like a good, like a proper, like actually meat meal, warm, like in from the cold. She's paying off like a bunch of back debts, or like creditors and stuff like that. Yeah, and then just like capping the night off with like a bottle of brandy and a couple of friends, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the warden is still gonna pay you.
There's a little bit left over.
Yeah. Well, like the warden is gonna be like, yeah, you killed a vampire.
Here's $10.
Yeah.
Get yourself something nice.
Yeah, all right. So I was like, well, we also have to point out the fact that it's like, oh yeah, they weren't actually like destroying those bodies, and it's probably irrelevant now. We just,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's irrelevant though. Like, are we?
Yeah, because it was an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
And
gonna
actually-
tell them about the what we saw and the reconciled and
I
all that stuff, or are we gonna
I
keep that to ourselves?
I
We
think the
have-
best move is to wait until they pay us for the vampire and then be like, oh, also, and keep your hand out and then tell them we solved some other stuff.
Ice cold. We also have the high technician that we stashed
Mm.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if we
Yes.
remember after the whole vampire shenanigans to be like, by the way, he probably knows what's up.
Yeah, Andrew, can we send him to Guantanamo? Is,
Yeah.
is that an we okay? All right.
Yeah. This
Cool.
Beyond the barrier.
I think we're all on board with that. Like
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah.
That guy's
Fuck
caught.
that dude.
Like-
He's deep in the mix somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
he's gonna be in some like ancillary church basement with
Mhm.
like a warden just interrogating him, probably for the next while.
I mean, ecstasy black site has a nice ring to it when
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Yep.
Like, who wouldn't want to go there?
The blackout site.
No, that's a different thing with the Church of Ecstasy.
The
an
ecstasy
im-
of erasure. You never.
It's an
come back.
MDMA black site.
I also just like
Yeah,
have
I
this mental image of like, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say of like wardens like standing on the far side of a brick wall looking through it, and then like we get their angle from it, and to them it just looks like glass as one of them's like holding their hand up against the wall casting a spell, so they like have the
The mirror
mirror
window
thing?
effect,
Yeah.
but with magic. That's
Yeah.
that's real good. And they're like, instead of a polygraph, they can like see his spirit react before his body does. And all
one of
that
them's a
shit.
slide,
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yep.
like just the dude's face is just like a mess of bruises, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gonna say if anyone asks where what happened to him, someone
fell.
would probably start spreading the rumor he got lost in his vices.
Mhm.
He's gonna be gone for a couple of weeks.
I feel like if you have a black site, you're past the point of asking questions as to where bruises came from.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be a good strategy for reducing heat on us. Actually,
Oh,
'cause
shit.
I think we're about to get hit, and it might not matter. I have a feeling we might actually go across the line here.
So
But
what's the? I'm not sure how much to pay you for this.
in heat?
No, in
Oh, we're still doing coin. We're still
Yeah.
doing coin.
Yeah.
So how much, like coin-wise, how much do you think Celine got?
I think she took like the bribe, which was originally going to be like 6 coin. Like this was
Yeah.
going to be a pretty standard to big job.
So
Yeah.
like four-ish, six-ish?
Well, I think
Yeah, I thought you mentioned that like she left like a coin or two in the bag.
yeah,
So
Okay. So
she took the lion's share, but I mean like
yeah,
the wardens
So we
are
have-
going to compensate you still.
we have one left over, and then they're paying us. Andrew, are they paying us a bounty on a vampire, or are they paying us like to keep
And-
us quiet and not talk about what happened?
Also, is there like an info bounty for what they're doing with like the entire plan to recruit for the undead army? Like, I feel like there's a lot of avenues
Well,
we can
okay.
pursue.
Okay,
Yes.
so hang on, crew. Hang on. Wait. Are,
yeah.
are
we
we
need
gonna tell them our base is in the tower where the reconciled meet to plan their operations? Are we going that far?
No. Oh shit! Because yeah, if we told them the one thing, it would bring
It's-
questions about the other thing.
It's gonna.
Do we have a plausible reason to know why the technician was bent, or how he was bent? And that's why we started investigating. Yeah,
No.
this is completely not my area.
I have an idea.
Coraline could make something up.
Well, not only could I make something up, I do have this whisper that I was really close to, who's conveniently fucking dead right now.
Oh, that's
and there
the
was something
shit.
into his stuff that linked to that.
We can
guy.
pin everything on him.
Oh,
Oh, that's
geez.
so good, Aaron.
Oh,
Yes. Just
ice cold.
that's so good.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay.
like, the line. Like because of that takedown, we found out the guy was bent, and this started as an investigation into what he was doing. We were afraid that the warden had been compromised too, which is why we didn't loop them in initially.
So do we want to say, like, we have tied off this loose end? We found Lucian, and that led us here, and we killed the vampire, and the case closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the one outstanding question, I guess, would be that Lucian was wrapped up for most of the time the funeral was organized. So did he have accomplices?
Well, he had the technician for one thing. I mean, if we're handing the technician over and then lying about his story, that's a dangerous move.
That's a good point.
Because who knows what he's going to say.
But do we
man with
care if he gets
means.
killed under suspicion of lying?
No.
They have 2 avenues to follow up on now. Regardless of whether this tech dies, he was crooked, so fuck him?
All right, let's back out.
I have one
Gray
question for
Gray
this,
is the-
actually.
Okay.
Gray has been pretty much a Girl Scout this whole time and, like, submitting a lot of things in written reports.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Has
Gray,
Whiteout
how
been
much,
invented?
how much shows up in a written report?
I don't mention the event in the tower. That was like the one thing I excluded.
Okay.
Good.
Partially because
But, like, do you mention, like, the Reconciled and their recruitment drive and...
I don't mention it as anything as chatter amongst nobility that, we heard that was troubling.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't specifically name the Reconciled, but I do name all the people that I saw at Lucian's party when I went around looking under everyone's hood, and that it seemed to be there was a larger plot being set into motion.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, if anybody the wardens vaguely trust is like, oh yeah, there's like some larger plot going on here, that's the sort of thing they're paid well to investigate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it makes sense if I don't know all the facts, like the Reconciled and stuff, because I don't have their resources or anything, so I shouldn't really have that information anyway, since the Reconciled are supposed to be kind of like a secret thing from the public.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, like, I don't even think Lucian knew that he was serving them.
Yeah.
How much like transparency do we have? Because I've been picturing that you've been doing this kind of not on your own. Like, we know that you're writing reports,
Yeah.
but like, do you loop us in and tell us stuff, or is it just like we
Right.
trust you and you just do whatever and we don't ask you questions?
I make sure that you're all on the same page. I don't explicitly name a lot of things because it's better to leave something out than try taking back something you can't unsay.
Okay.
Supposing
Yeah.
like a warden.
I'm on board with that. Totally. Yep.
Beatrix's middle name is Morally.
So, given all of that information, Andrew,
Yeah,
what do they pay us?
I mean, I think it's the vampire bounty, aka hush money, to shut the fuck up about vampires, which is probably like another 4 or 5, like probably gets you up to 6 coin total
Okay.
Okay.
between the leftover bribe.
I'm sure Lucian taking part in such a horrible activity would have violated what parole he was on anyway.
Yeah,
That's kind of a mute point.
So 6 coin total means each of us can take 1,
Yep.
and then we have 2 in our crew.
yeah.
That's nice and neat. And those go right into my stash as always. So
How many did we get? Sorry.
One each.
Okay. Boop.
According to my calculations, I've gotten 4 personal coins so far,
Yeah, I think that lines
Yeah.
up.
and then 2 in the crew. But
Awesome.
mine just goes into stash immediately, so I never have any money.
Should get that. It's the slide move.
Yeah.
Something
Yes.
on the side.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. I just, gosh. I
It's so
remember blowing everyone at the table's mind when I finally started spending it.
Yeah. Even
This
at,
block is mine now.
even at 2-1, it goes far.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I should definitely take that. I want a better lifestyle. That's my whole deal. So I'm going there.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, the wardens pay you, and there's like sort of a strong mention of shut the fuck up about this.
About what?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Good. So heat.
Oh no.
0-0.
Yeah, everything's perfectly fine.
So do we feel this was smooth and quiet?
No.
Do we feel this was contained?
We
Less
got-
because of our actions. If anything, it's because of the wardens. But no, because there's like a room full of nobles, and even
They all just ran off, and we were like, "Bye."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, can the shit going bad be tied to us? Because there was like an old lady who flipped out
Yeah.
and was like ripping people across the room, and like we were there helping.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You set her off.
Yeah.
Prove it. Hey, prove it.
I saw it with my scope.
There were a lot of witnesses, and you are
like,
very memorable.
yeah, yeah, and like we had the whole action scene play out with Gray as the center character.
Yeah.
That's real hard to.
You RoboCop to vampire, so I guess that is kind of memorable.
Well, and also like Lucian made a big show of marching Coraline out to like, oh yes, we're gonna go. Or no, he was like, hello dear, and like gripped you too hard, and then you were like, oh yes, I'm going to take us to our seats. So I mean, do we feel this was loud and chaotic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or was this wild? I don't think this was quite roving gunfight levels of exposure.
I know this probably won't show up in the recording, but Andrew keeps cutting out for me.
Yeah,
Me too.
I'm
Yeah, a
getting this
little bit.
time.
Interesting. I will move the
I don't know
microphone
why.
closer.
I don't think it'll affect the actual recording since OBS is recording directly from your mic and not
Sure.
from
Probably,
Discord.
yeah.
Yeah,
It might be. There's that Discord setting of like
yeah.
Oh,
the way
the
your mic
voice
activates
activation?
or whatever. That might be what's happening.
Is this better now though?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
it
Okay.
happens
It
somewhere.
was more an
Yeah,
occasional thing.
Yeah, it wasn't frequent. It was like every now and then you'd be like, "Pop," and then like a couple seconds later you'd be back.
Okay. Yeah, I just moved the mic closer. I lost my train of thought. Right. Heat.
So we're taking at least 4
Wild.
heat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or possibly 6.
Well, it's. I mean, I don't think this was wild.
Okay.
I think wild involves like multiple locations, sort of thing. Like it's like the roving gunfight, or like a shootout at the artillery factory, or
A shootout at the artillery factory that's what it should say in the book instead of wild. It should.
but
Look,
This-
if we take 4, that means we fill, we go to 1-1, and then we take 1 heat.
I have some slightly worse news for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
This was a high-profile target.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we take 2 more. No, we take 1 more.
Yeah,
Oh
so
right,
there's
and then
one more.
killing was involved.
And then killing was involved.
2 more.
Yeah.
But does killing a vampire count because it's already dead technically?
Lucian died.
Yeah, Lucian. Come on.
We didn't kill him.
Doesn't matter who killed him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Were
Killing.
involved.
Killing were
that's
involved.
why I was saying the bell started ringing during
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So now we're up to 4 heat and 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Good job, everybody.
We're doing it's great. I don't have any stress to take care of, so I'm gonna work on buying us.
Yeah, that's right. That's the great thing about traumaing out.
I'm gonna put my cold to work to reduce our heat.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
I'll allow it. Would you like to roll dice equal to your trauma?
Can I take an extra trauma?
I will never say no to the I would like to receive this trauma.
Wow, that's hardcore. Devil's bargain, get a trauma.
Yeah.
It's that one shot you need to save somebody else.
Yeah.
Like,
Matt Gagan has that. He does this. So I'm speaking for him here. I don't know how much he's done it, but they have a thing in their group which is Devil's bargain. You can't resist the consequences.
Yeah.
That's the real like super hardcore mode.
Well, and there's two kinds of people. The person who like recoils at that suggestion, and the person who
then-
leans in.
Can I just have that every time, or is that a yeah?
I
If
mean,
you-
that
if
almost
you
feels
have
like
heat-
Daredevil.
It is kind of like Daredevil, yeah. The Daredevil's like the softer version, because for a long time Daredevil didn't have the downside, and that was not
Yeah.
right. So
So yeah, how do you reduce heat? What do we see?
Oh god, I didn't have like a plan yet. I was just saying what I was going
you don't have to
start
go
with.
first. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's fine. That's fine.
I just got a mental image of like Coraline in the interrogation room,
Oh, oh,
sitting across the table and like
that. Ooh, oh, and it's the scene where you're like interrogating him, but leading him to answer the questions the way you want, so it doesn't implicate us.
Yeah.
Fuck, yes.
That's
Wait,
so good.
I'm built for this. Hold on.
That's so good.
Oh, no, absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's
So, as part of this, because I just had another idea, is do we want to take like Gray's clock and just expand it to the whole gang? And like maybe Gray still has her clock of like becoming the public face, but this is like
Am I the interrogator now?
We become wardens is the clock, really.
yeah.
Because I
I'm
have
fine
an
with that.
idea. I have an idea now.
I do too. Let's.
I'm-
What's your idea?
Okay, so I'm gonna use my sway to like tell this dude, hey, remember this is the way it happened. You were here. It's gonna look bad for you if there was a warden there. This is what the warden said happened. You need to go with what the warden said happened, or it's gonna look bad because the warden's probably not lying. And I think what I'm gonna do is like, I guess basically gaslight him and use my mesmerism to like make him completely go for it. And then I walk out of the room and I'm saying, I go up to somebody, I'm like, the witness is yours. And then like I never go back in there, so he never knows I did shit to his brain. And then I'm out.
That's fantastic. First of all,
Yeah.
yes, that's sick.
Definitely.
Are
wait
you
for it.
disguised as a spirit warden when you do that?
Oh, like, ooh,
I'm trying to fill two clocks at once.
I mean, do we maybe get them to let us help out since like we've interacted with this guy? Like, would I?
Yeah, I think that's the safe, or not safe, but that's like the standard play here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, they don't know he exists yet until we tell them. We just tied him up somewhere till until this was over. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
We just hand him over after Coraline
Okay.
talks to him.
Yes. So we bring him to the tower. We bring him to like a nondescript room. It's dark. There's a flickering candlelight to where with my fine disguise kit and the clothes that I've put together and like the silvery or the metallic makeup I'm wearing, it gives a pretty convincing impression that I'm a spirit warden and that you're in some fucking dungeon somewhere. And I'm like, we know what happened. Here's what the warden says happened. Is that correct? And like, I just like leading questions, like, this is what you're going to say. And then like, I don't go drop him off. Everybody else goes to drop him off. I'm not there.
No. You get him to like go and confess his sins.
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go about
that's
it.
the really nasty
Yes.
version.
Yes.
You want to do the right thing, don't you?
Yeah.
Also, as an aside, while I, the player, was all for this, Graves is like staying far the fuck away from us.
It's like the Revolutionary War sort of duel thing. Just you make the doctor look the other way for deniability, and then it's fine.
I think it's like, I think he deserves what's coming to him, but I have zero interest in participating.
Mhm.
I probably fucked off to go to the theater like immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you gotta go
yeah,
relax.
I think I send my rival a note so that he and I can go watch the play together. Kind of like as a tense catch-up scene.
Yeah.
I pictured him having like a different nickname. He doesn't call me Gray. He doesn't call me Beatrix. He calls me Trixie.
Oh.
Mm,
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
mm.
He has
That's so good.
he has
And
a
they're just, like,
single
older.
white rose for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just sitting on your seat when you're
Right.
going at like the dress rehearsal and the two of
Yeah.
you are in the opposing boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sit next to each other, that would just be
Right.
two, but like yeah.
Yeah, probably like lounging, occasionally looking at each other through like opera spectacles.
Yeah, it's like fucking sniper scopes at the
Yeah.
opera, and you're. Oh, that's so good. Actually,
Yeah.
in the TV version, that's what we
Mhm.
see. We see this like
Right.
telescopic view of
Yes.
your rival, and then it
Yes.
cuts to it's not a sniper scope. It's the opera
The opera
glasses.
spectacles, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. And
I love the
then
hell out of all of this.
and then we're just watching it, and I don't know. God, I kind of wanted to have like a little crossbow or something with like a note attached to it, but like,
I want to actually take back the rose thing.
sure.
It's two roses
Mm-hmm.
that have their heads cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Just as his way of like twisting the knife, because it's the rivalry romance.
Right.
Him twisting the knife being like, I stopped the war. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But you're saying like Jordan, like during the opera, there's like a silent like thunk,
Mm-hmm.
and there's
you're
just like message for you, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Probably
message for you, sir.
with one of the roses like attached. And just I don't know, something about like, yeah, well, I mean, like I still got like a higher kill count during the war. Something like that. That's like always going to be my rebuttal.
Yeah. Well,
but like
he's quality and you're quantity.
right. Well, it's probably something like I actually talk about the accomplishment. Something like how many shots does it take to kill a vampire?
Oh yes.
And yeah, so I'm gonna roll my vice.
Cool.
How many shots does it take? Let me tell you.
5.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm down to 2.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm probably watching like his expression as he reads the note or something, because I think he was more interested in killing like he was more skilled at killing mortal normal people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to go further and go after like the supernatural after we parted ways.
Yeah. Cool.
And you were, just to remind us,
Mhm.
I don't want to get this wrong. You were on the Empire side in the war.
Yeah, we
Okay.
both were. We both
Yeah.
were.
Yeah. Okay.
And we used to be like really, really like thick as thieves.
Mm-hmm.
But we're both like really proud people, so it's not like we could really spend that much time together before driving the other one like crazy.
I mean, you're like two lions, right? You
Yeah.
can't be in the same territory. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and like
Can't have two alphas, man.
stolen moments in the war, right?
Yeah. Also, just since then, he and I just occasionally will try one-upping each other. But
Yeah.
like him killing the Rebel Queen has like always been like his trump card for
That's a big one.
Yeah.
A crown
Yeah.
jewel, if you will.
yeah.
I won't.
Okay.
Oh, should I roll to
Let's-
convincingly persuade? Yeah, after.
Yeah, let's take another
Right,
short
yes.
break because we're at the 2-hour mark. And then, yeah, we can wrap up downtime and see where everything shakes out.
Okay.
So, yeah. Again, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I know I'm having a blast, and I hope everybody else is too. So, see you shortly. All right, and we're back. Going into our third hour of Candles in the Dark. Yeah, this is technically the third hour because the first one starts at 0, Andrew. That's how numbers work. Uh, and Coraline was about to roll some bones. And I have to correct a name also. Quiet. Because I'm a bad friend. But yeah, do you want to...
Yeah,
roll some dice?
yes. Oh, really? Got a 3.
I mean, that's not a no. That's just I think he like. I don't want to say he seems prepared or anything because like that seems like harsh.
What if so he's repeating stuff back to her, and he's obviously repeating the wrong fucking thing.
Fucking shithead. I hope he dies.
Or like, well, I mean, I think part of it is he's like shaken from the evening, since he was, however briefly, transported through the ghost field,
Yeah.
and like I think that has left him like
Traumatized.
marked.
Yeah,
or,
no. Well, and marked because he also just failed a bunch of ghosts.
Yeah.
And so he's not happy about that.
Yeah.
Those are not two facts he likes being reminded
Also-
of next to each other.
Also, I mean, like, we get all of our stuff from cutouts. Maybe he does too, and he just doesn't have the info that they're
Right.
looking for to pin to the higher ups.
Yep. Yeah, like they ask him like, where'd you get this thing? And it's a dead drop here. And where like, how'd you get paid? And it's a dead drop over there. And yeah.
What
What was their name, Rook?
In the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's still minus. It's -1 heat. I'll take
Yep.
it. I'll take it. Something.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just tick up the breaking good clock as well.
Cute.
Also, I just remembered there was going to be a thing that Coraline got to loot off of Lucian.
Oh yeah.
It was a vial of drug, namely Leviathan
that's
blood.
good.
Nice.
I think a couple like shattered in the impact, but yeah, one of these like leaden glass vials survived.
Keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't decided what to do with my second downtime, so I'll let other people go while I ponder.
Okay.
I have two that are the same. I have one thing to do, which is 2 downtime actions, I think.
Okay.
One is, as soon as I possibly can, slip away from the party, go to my tattoo parlor, and feed my now double device of the 2-headed Leviathan thing that's now snaking across my body.
Sure. Yep.
I am not going to try to heal my wounds. I'm going to instead try to heal my stress and like invite the tattoo artist to like extend the new branch and like work around the wound, and you know I'm like fully all in, and we've seen Harrison up to this point like coy to some degree, and now we're seeing him as like the real thing, the desperate addict that he is. With there's not any like charisma here, and everyone in the tattoo parlor is kind of like sneering behind his back, and the illusion that he's like somehow above all of this is just totally gone.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of him, and he's
Well, and he like
just
slams the vial down, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like just-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I want to get a new. It's like a new panel
Okay.
on my rib cage, like over and around the wound, where it's this as a two-headed Leviathan now, but the one head on the bottom up across my heart is swallowing a spirit, kind of like I want to kind of commemorate the Gray's assassination. So there's like this ghostly essence being swallowed down the Leviathan's gullet, but the ghost has like holes for eyes and
Well, and like too many teeth.
yeah.
Can I just pitch a variation on that? Because like when you initially started that, I was thinking the whole Ouroboros thing.
Yeah.
But you have two Leviathans. Does one of the tattoos start to fade so it looks spiritual and they're fighting each other? So you have the previous one and the spirit Leviathan that's trying to consume each other.
Totally. That's really good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and like if in a like blacklight, you can see like in my van, I put black lights in my van. Yeah, totally. It's like this multi-faceted. Oh shit. Okay. This might be 3 actions in one, cuz I'm the tattoo artist at this parlor. They know what's up, right? They're not like just a tattoo artist, obviously. There's a thing here. And as they start to tattoo me, I unconsciously start to shift into the ghost field because I haven't controlled these powers yet. And so that half that Jonathan's describing, like they tattoo me while I'm shifted. So it's like tattooing on my whatever spirit essence or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the blacklight, like all the ghost echoes that we see, so in the crew that shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you can totally see it like through my clothes and everything. You can see the Yeah. So I'm doing that. I'm relieving my stress with that, with my vice. I also want to add ticks to Jordan's clock.
Yep.
By spreading this rumor in the underworld. While I'm being tattooed, I'm like incoherently babbling about this incredible spirit warden, essentially.
Yeah.
That like did this amazing thing, and I wanna make the underworld scared of this new unknown, as far as they know, spirit warden that's operating in the turf now, and I want to spread this like rumor through the criminal population.
She's so badass she doesn't even need magic. She just
exactly yes that's totally the story. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll start with Vice. 4. All right.
It's 2 because you have 0 dice.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. It's 2.
Shit.
Ouch.
So I should have 4 ticked. Yeah.
Turns out getting your spirit tattooed isn't as much of a relief as you thought.
Yeah, that did not.
But it's probably because he started to fade during it, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Totally.
So wasn't as relaxing as it might have been a different day.
Yep. I didn't
Or
let
a
myself
different
go.
session.
Yep. And then I'm going to consort, I think, to
spread the rumors.
spread the rumors. Yeah.
Sure.
I will take a devil's bargain if you want.
I actually haven't rolled engagement or entanglement yet, so I should do that and then see if that inspires me.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
All right, so wanted level 1 and heat. You were at 6, so that's the fun table. Yeah, that's a D16, Andrew.
Ouch.
Demonic notice or show of force, you say?
Huh. I mean, why would we have demonic notice? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Who have we pissed off? Name one person.
Yeah.
Name one demon.
Name 17.
Name one living person.
Name 6 billion demons.
Then kill them.
Yeah. Oh man. Now I'm on that. Okay, no. Putting that aside for now.
Hi, Abaddon.
You're awesome. Uh,
Sorry. So
Yeah.
what's the action here?
I'm consorting with the underworld
Okay.
to spread the to like advance the clock on becoming wardens.
I mean, the devil's bargain here is, I mean, like it takes like they start taking like not special preparations against spirit wardens, but like I mean they slide more cult, right? Like that's like they're promised power by these entities, so yeah, they're gonna slide more cult, and it's probably. I mean, there's one big organized cult in town right now.
Yep. Okay, I'll take that.
Cool.
Got a 4. Two
Nice.
ticks.
So yeah, that's 2 heat off.
No, 2 ticks on
On the
clock.
on the clock.
Okay. So is this Jordan's clock or is this the breaking good?
I don't know
Okay.
which is more appropriate.
I mean, you can do 1 and 1 if you want. That
So what's the difference? Like what's the distinguishing?
so I've got Jordan's as like the signed warden. Like she becomes like the figurehead, the flagship warden sort of thing. And then the breaking good is like you all get like accepted as possibly an arm's length, but like official spirit warden organ.
Oh shit! This is actually on my sheet.
Yeah.
I was looking on the map. I was like, where is this?
what?
No,
I can't see Jordan's sheet for some reason. It's not on the list.
no, it's
I've got the
got
private,
but I
permission
can-
between the DM and.
Oh yeah,
there.
they're it's just Harrington and Mortimer that are public. I think Jordan's is like not.
There we go. She should show up now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh no.
not
All I can see is
exactly.
bio and info. It's because the one sheet is that you edit, and you need own access to see.
Oh,
Is-
right.
Yeah. Now it's
So, oh wait, there we go. That worked.
Mhm.
This is a tough choice, actually. Honestly, I think it's Beatrix's clock.
Okay.
Like,
And then I mean she can work towards breaking good, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that I would talk about it would be about her,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be the main thrust of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's there's a lot going on there, and like the higher I get, I start to confess about like I didn't know you could kill a vampire, and like whatever, like all of that, the details start to come out.
I
Right.
once saw her shout a ghost to like
Yeah.
it listened. Who
Yeah.
does that? Yeah.
yep.
She punished
What?
a ghost.
And like everyone was panicking and begging, or Coraline was begging me not to command the ghost. I said, fuck that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I did that.
Yeah, I will do 2 ticks, and then actually we have a lot of rep, so I'm just gonna do it again.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you have any more like indulge vice that you want to get rid of, or
no, I'm good.
okay?
We'll just go right for. Let's see, where's 7th tower?
Trauma
Rep.
builds character.
The unchecking rep on the sheet is not working for me for some reason.
You have to tick the one before it.
Oh,
so
the
I-
one
I
before
just-
it.
I just
Yeah,
did.
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Okay. So Harrington, come on, you can do it. This is the thing, viewers at home. I see people resist this sometimes on streams where they're like, "Oh, I don't want to just do the same thing again. That's boring." Like, it's not boring. I am doubling down on the thing I just said, and
Yeah.
all I have to do is click a button.
Well, and like
It's super easy.
it's also like this is a like, hey Jim, this is a thing I actually really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Did you take
that's
the
5,
Devil's
so
Bargain the first time?
I did.
Okay.
I'm taking it both times, actually.
Okay. Cool.
So,
I should make
go-
a clock
yes.
and then tick
Go-
a bunch.
Go
Just
go
forget
nuts.
to do that.
Go
What's
crazy.
the Devil's Bargain again?
This faction, the tattoo faction, which I think we're calling the ink rakes at this point.
Oh, God.
I think technically they're called the bloodletters.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I have I have like 22 hours of roleplay that I need to catch up on now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Them becoming more cultish. Let's just say that's a bit of a spoiler. And we're in the right ballpark. In fact, you should just go ahead and fill that clock, probably. That would make sense.
I mean, I don't know if I go all. Oh god, I just moved it to the GM layer.
He's drunk with power.
It was
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
You moved it to the ghost field.
Yeah. Especially because it goes all transparent. Yeah.
You will never know how many ticks this clock has.
We're up to 6.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
Speaking of the ghost field, I do think I figured out the rest of my downtime.
Cool. I'm done. So go for it.
Okay. So I've got 1 downtime action left. I've got 2 coin. I'm going to burn one of our rep so I can train my playbook 4 times. And basically, I am going to. I'm trying to decide whether she does this with the Leviathan blood or not. Probably not. No. You know what? Yes. I think she like takes a swig. It's her courage juice, and she walks on into the ghost field, and starts trying to strike up conversations. And basically, she's going to stay in there and just kind of take swigs out when she feels herself coming down, and she's not coming out until she can talk to ghosts, and she's not like absolutely terrified by them and all that. So I think probably there's a note on somewhere in the tower, and it says, be back soon. I have to see some people about some things.
So
And
you're doing
Yes.
this training within your headquarters?
Ooh.
oh wait, no, that's a terrible idea. I think she puts the note there and then probably wanders into the streets and goes to check out other buildings that aren't, let's say, as important.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
I was
strike up
I was I was
shit.
really in for the idea of you learning to like commune with ghosts. Or the Reckons I'd like to meet, but okay. I mean,
No.
like Crowsfoot has a bunch of ghosts wandering around because a lot of people get murdered there.
Yeah. And I think at the end, she's sort of. It's been maybe a week and a half, and she just pops out in the middle of the tower one day, like, I don't know, as people are like gathered around or eating lunch or something, like mid sentence, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you later," and then like she's tangible again, and like she looks like shit.
I don't think you have like a normal conversation with ghosts. I
You doing
don't
that
think
cutout
that,
thing again.
Sorry. I don't think you get like I don't think ghosts have a normal conversation. Like I get like the ghost voice thing.
Mhm.
But that is, let's see the phrasing here. The secret method to interact with ghosts or demons as if it was a normal human. Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna chat. It's fine.
Yeah, it breaks the rules. It's, yep.
That's. So I mean, like, I think it's you have like some kind of soporific or just like calming effect on spirits. Like you walk into Crowsfoot and like there's a feral ghost down a dark alley, and someone is about to have like that shitty night that everyone in Duskfall has, and like you're just like, hey, like I think you just like look at them and maybe even know a name that they will respond to.
Yeah.
Like not
That's
their
good.
name, but like some name that just like catches something inside them.
Ginny's
figure
still waiting
after-
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figure for a lot of them, like after you've been in the field for so long and you've gone feral, you may not even remember what your name was. So maybe just somebody calmly talking to you like they would have when you were still alive is enough, maybe.
Hey Sybil, like, what happened to dinner last night? Yeah.
Yeah. I was
And
waiting for
But
an hour.
there's like an extra thing happening too, where like that it occurs to you to try that, but then it's not just it's not just the words you're saying, right? It's like this something happens
I'm
in the
imagining,
attunement space, you know?
yeah, and there's like a cadence to what you're saying and how you're saying it.
Oh, you know, it would be in the TV show. Like we've established, we had that great sequence where we were jumping through time. And we were seeing like the people when they were alive and the sun was out, and like maybe when Coraline starts speaking to them, we see in the ghost field they're living like their life, you know,
Yeah.
their living personhood, like fast cuts or time lapses or something.
I'm imagining like the Slaughterhouse-5, like the extending in
Oh.
both directions thing.
Yeah, yeah. The Last Jedi does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
And yeah, like you've effectively like scroll through a thing and like find a sane prior version of this person.
And just do like a drag and drop that one, like
Or just however, right? Yeah.
oh, we've interacted with books. Maybe like I can walk up to them and there's just like a book in my hand and it's like the book of their life and I can just flip through it and like touch it and like
As you flip through the pages is them scrolling through that like
yeah.
infinite past and future reflection.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And
I'm just setting myself up for a heel turn at some point. It
Yeah.
will be.
yeah.
Well, I mean, once that happens, like now we know that all of our lives are being written in books.
I don't know if this is something that she would. So then you get to the thing where it's like if you tell people that like all the shit that you will ever do is like I can see it.
I think there's a hard limit on two ends. Because you said you were like doing this for a week.
Yeah.
And at least at some point you were in the seventh tower. And one hard limit is now, this second, right now.
Yeah.
And so like there's
Okay.
always another page being added, but like you can't go past. The other hard limit is the like sundering cataclysm, what killed the sun.
Okay. And I think regardless of what, like once she realizes that there's a book for every person, her first thought that goes through her head that like I mean clear as day is I'm not gonna look at theirs, and like she thinks of the people in the crew with her. She's like absolutely fucking not like.
I was originally gonna ask, do you like look at people, like
Yeah.
glimpse at people's story really quick, and then decide that?
No, like I mean, I think she does it to some of the some of the ghosts and stuff she's trying to talk to and interact with, and she realizes how much is in there, and it's like, I mean, this is like your innermost desires and things you're ashamed of, and like, no, there's. It's one thing to do it with a ghost. It's another thing to do it with like the people who I trust with my life.
Yeah.
So far.
I also really love the idea that like for Coraline it's a book, but for some other whisperer
Yep.
slide who has this ability, it's some other kind of record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
music
or
Yeah.
even anything like from the whole aura reading thing, or just
Yeah.
it's just how Coraline processes this.
Yeah. Like the lawyer, the studied
Yep.
background.
Yep.
Of course
Yep.
it's written down in a book. What else do you do with information?
It's a brief. It's a
Yeah.
brief on this person. Yeah.
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 God.
Man.
All right. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So that means I actually have to come up with things, huh? Yeah. So I think almost everything's going to take place where he's going to go hang out with the Dowager because there's a lot of things that need to be done there.
Sure. Yep.
I'm going to mark a coin as he is bringing a bottle.
Mhm.
That's going to end up being an extra action, I think.
I mean, you can buy it as not an action.
Well, because there are three things that
Okay.
I can think of I want to do,
Mhm.
so at least it makes sense in that regard. So like, all right, the simple, boring one is hanging out there and indulging the vice. So we can just go ahead and do that.
Sure.
Uh,
I'm super curious what she drinks because she just said a bottle. Or like maybe it's like a bottle of like rare reagent, like, and you just knew what it meant.
yeah.
Like
If
a
you spent a whole coin on it, it's like and it's one bottle.
yeah.
That's
Yeah. No,
that's
I,
intense.
I am picturing like it is classic. Well, because it's not even. Oh, geez. If it's
Like
one bottle, it's super expensive. Like I'm picturing something like whiskey, which isn't the right thing, but maybe
I
it
mean, it could
is.
be. It could be like pre-cataclysm,
Yeah,
like,
like
or what,
it.
you know.
It is a thing because like this is partly an apology too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I done fucked up.
Is it pre-cataclysm alcohol that's like stored near that like electro barrier because it has some special effect on the alcohol, but there's only so much that you can hide near the barriers, so it's obviously a limited thing?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's and this is just pandering to John, but like it's bourbon. Like there's a small crop of corn.
Okay, but
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan, we need to combine
Yeah.
that with what Jordan said in chat because it's really good.
Yes.
Sunline
Sunwine.
Yep.
before the
Um,
cataclysm.
Yeah.
It's the same idea though, right? It's
Oh.
like it's made from a crop that had to grow in sunlight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Um,
almost thinking it's something like dandelion wine or something.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sun-kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And the modern like mushroom variant or fermented eel paste that they make it at, whatever they're making their shit out of now is not the same.
Well, and like once you've tasted the real deal, going back is just hell.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um.
I can attest to that. That is a fact.
Yeah. All right. So while that's happening, this is one of those things that's going to happen like inadvertently on Mortimer's part, but he's going to talk up Gray because he just saw her kill a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
And
good.
like that's amazing. And like, because my intent here is to help work on that clock, basically among the noble sector, to make sure she knows who it was. Because like, I think the way it wasn't super appropriate, but like at this point, I'm going to be building up Gray because like she's met Gray before, but like in a very like I called in the exterminator, and that was part of the reason I left the household officially. So she knows who Gray is, but may not make the connection that was who did that.
Yep.
So like I just talk up like she is awesome. I mean like she talked down a ghost and it just like it listened to her. So that kind of thing. So I'm gonna guess that's consort to work on that clock.
Yeah.
All right. Submit. Ooh.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
I think it's really fitting that Mortimer is the one who can like talk her up the most.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh tower back, everybody.
Yep. All right. Well, and like such a willing audience, and
Mhm.
Yep.
all right.
Well, and like I said, like he's not doing it with that motive in mind. I just think that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of like how he accidentally narked on Harrington without that being in mind. It just happened.
He is new to this whole underworld thing and like bad at it.
Cool.
And then like the third action, I'm not certain how this works here, so let's talk about that.
Okay.
So the whole problem that the way he does his stuff is too linkable to the Dowager.
Sure.
So he's going to kind of work on trying to muddy those waters. Maybe alter his style a little bit. Not certain how to do that. I'm thinking of it as like a reduce heat roll. It technically would be about stuff happening in the future, but yeah, I don't know. Is that cool to you? Does that make sense?
I mean, you can, like.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. Like I mean,
Yeah.
you can go tinker. Wreck is
Yeah.
probably one of the worst actions to get rid of heat, but I mean, it works.
Well, it's weird, and I could only see it applying in like we've built this up as a thing. It's a problem, and so he's working to address it here.
Mhm.
Like,
I mean, this
I
could
think-
also be a clock.
I was gonna say, I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
have like go ahead and
It's a
burn a
long-term
rep maybe. Like
Mhm.
I think you could do a long-term project and reduce heat if you want to. Like we got
Okay.
the rep, you can spin that.
yeah.
to be like, yeah, I'm reducing heat on us, but also I'm building a future. Like I basically I'm taking this consequence off the table from the GM.
Okay. Yes, it's mine.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that. Where's our rep? There it is. Okay, so reduce that by 1, and then do a tinker roll.
I figured this is like a 6 clock.
Okay.
And I'm calling it a style of my own. It's on your character sheet under planning and load.
Ooh.
Also, it looks
Where
like
the-
you have 4 XP to spend.
Oh shoot. That's why my playbook is empty. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's okay.
I was just like, I remember being like 1 away from the playbook before I did that, and like I'd forgotten because at the end of the last session, I like made a note of it, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. All right. Anyway.
Totally fine.
Honestly, it happens so often. There you go.
Hi, how you doing?
Nice.
All right.
So is that the reduce heat or the style of your own?
I was doing heat first.
Okay.
In my brain.
So I
but
marked
yeah,
off
'cause I have
3
to roll
heat.
that twice. Okay.
It's 3 heat and then a crit is 5, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so another one there. Do. Nah, not quite as good on the clock, but just a 5.
Yeah, I
Actually,
mean, that's still 2 chunks.
yeah. All right. I can put that back one.
I am curious as a bystander.
Mhm.
When you're doing this thing where you're separating yourself from the dowager, does she know you're doing this?
I think she's in on a lot more than I think she is. Because like she is super canny, and just like
Is this like a process of like you're growing up and you're leaving the nest?
sort of. It definitely is some of the becoming my own person and like coming up with my own style instead of like this is the way she taught me to do it. I kind of like doing it this way. Maybe it's a little faster, but it doesn't give you quite as good results, and that kind of trade off that like any skilled craftsman ends up getting to as their own decision. And it's definitely part of that of like separating from the dowager thing, but like he's not doing it in a screw you go away sort of thing. It's just he has
That's what
to-
I was wondering. Yeah, is it like
Yeah.
I don't need you anymore? And she's like no, or if it's like yes, my student is becoming the master.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's definitely happier with that end of it. Like I know we haven't really played up to that all. Oh, that's right, because I had decided on that for my rival. It is definitely going to be a corpse thief, and again, he is tied into the current level of the family.
Oh Jesus.
Like he's their fixer. Like they have a problem in the noble house, they go to him and he deals with it.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I think what Gray came in and busted up was probably something that he was doing and pinned on me.
Ooh.
Or attempted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna stick with Eckert, but whatever. But yeah, I remembered I had an idea for that and I forgot to fill that out. All right.
That's good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
So I think Gray has one last action.
I do. I think I actually want to spend a coin to because we don't have insight. We have prowess training, but I do want to fill out that insight check.
Okay.
Okay.
I think after the play is over, I send Steiner another note. Something along the lines of like, for old time's sake, race across the city with me sort of thing. Or like kind of like a more extreme version of hide and seek.
I was going to say that those were your call signs in the war. He was hide.
No, he was always down below or in the sewers, and she took the high route, and she was like on the roof in the towers.
But like in the war, because you were the hound, you have all this tracking.
Right.
You were seek.
Yes, and he's the one who named her Hound, basically.
Okay.
But he always called her Trixie. But yeah, some like late night treasure hunt kind of sort of like, well, I'm pretty sure I can still catch you, sort of thing.
Geocaching.
So I will spend a coin for that. And I'm going to put a 3rd point into Hunt.
Why would you ever need Hunt?
Nice.
3rd time's the charm. Or in my case, the 3rd shot's the charm.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to
ev-
see that scene.
Yeah, me too.
I think, it's going to start off like they part from the opera house. She has to wait for like not the same bell tower where when someone dies the bell goes off, but like a clock tower sort of bell. Like stroke of midnight, the bell starts doing its final ring for the night. That's when she has to start looking. And she probably gives Mistral like one of the roses because it has his scent on it, or at least some lingering remain of it. And then they kind of split off to start looking for him.
I think
Mistral
he
on the
takes
ground.
one of them
Yeah.
and like actually like rubs it in a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And then hands it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely in line with what I picture for them. And then they get started on tracking.
All right.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of want like roll another d6 because I think your dog is helping you.
Yeah.
Mm.
It would be...
And I
Dog
want to
crit.
Yeah.
Dog
Yeah.
crit.
Dog
Do it.
crit, dog crit, dog crit.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Oh well. Almost there.
Having
Yes.
to take the lower of a 5 and a
Wait,
5
no,
is
no, no,
pretty
you're-
good.
Just a
Your
d6.
dog is definitely quality 1.
Oh, I totally never had to do a pet thing before.
Yeah, it's the normal cohort for the gang is 0, but your dog is special, so you get to roll 1 die.
Okay. Let's see how that goes.
Oh. 5, 5,
but-
5.
Yes. But I still got that 6. It's probably ends somewhere a watchtower where he and I had to help each other at one point in the war. Like he got into a bit of a scuffle, and then like an enemy assassin tried climbing up into my perch to take me out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet there, and then he's probably got like a bottle of wine or something.
Just a flask.
Yeah.
It's like a simple, unassuming, but like flask from the war.
It's still got like a sigil from our Yes.
It's a rebel flask
Yeah.
that he took off of one of
Oh.
them.
Yeah.
It's Scovlin whiskey taken from a dead rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then yeah, that's basically all I had pictured for it. I mean, like, when they were younger, they used to do stuff like this, and just to kind of like show that Gray wasn't like always 100% serious, sort of thing. There was probably one point where they were near the canal, and she like tackled him into it.
Yeah. Well, and like we get like the scene of like Gray climbing this tower, and she like crests it, and it's young Gray and young Steiner,
Right? Yeah.
and then like
This is extra good too because we see like she doesn't act that way around us.
No.
Yeah, this is a special
Yeah.
Almost like a
thing.
different person.
I
Yeah.
think as he like hands her the flask or something, he says something ironically like "Long live the Queen."
Oh.
or like to her health, and like you can hear the capital on the her.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah. Hey
So,
Jordan,
yes.
has anyone ever told you that you're good at role playing games?
No, never. This is actually the first system I've ever played. Last
Wait,
year.
what?
This is the first
She's-
system I've ever played.
She's been doing this for a year.
Is that really is that really true?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
she-
first system I ever played. They roped me into doing the podcast last January.
Yeah.
And then I did that. I did a little bit of Dungeon World and Fiasco, but like this is the one I played the most.
Okay.
It was a good get on our behalf.
Yeah.
I'm an old desiccated corpse, and I'm just gonna blow away in the wind. You guys carry on without me. You're all good. Thanks. Bye.
All we are is John.
I mean,
And
probably to her credit, like you used to do the text-based
yes,
role-playing
I
game,
used to,
like role-playing,
I used to
but
do,
not.
like, stuff on the forums way back in the days of Neopets.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that totally counts.
Yeah,
that totally
Yes.
counts.
I was going to say, to show my hand to people watching at home, I decided on the name Beatrix after looking at the name of NPCs that could be my shady friends or rivals. I saw Steiner, and I instantly thought of Final Fantasy IX. So I was like, cool, I'm going to play his opposite, Beatrix.
Thank you.
No.
No one. You are the only person that has ever mentioned Final Fantasy with that name.
Yeah. It was my favorite one. On Discord,
Yes.
on Discord, my avatar is Garnet.
Awesome.
Vivi is in my heart forever.
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah.
So welcome to that Final Fantasy IX appreciation podcast.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steiner, everybody. Now you know. Now you
A
know.
badass assassin.
Now you know why Steiner is in the book. It's been revealed.
You heard it here first. Awesome. All right. So I think this is a pretty okay place to draw season 1 down to a close. I think that's a really sweet scene with some
Yeah.
horrifying undercurrents.
Yeah.
Drinking to the death of a nation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't do that though?
It sounds like you've selected regicide.
But let's do a quick run through of the end of session. What's up?
All right, let's do the watches now just to stop the inevitable time-based puns in
Okay.
chat.
So yes, Mortimer and Harrington have had this like bag of stolen goods, and I've been like, no, I know, guys, this is all good. Like, we're gonna get paid. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Jonathan, you correct me, but I feel like this is like our side thing, kind of, where we're like, we're not hiding it from the crew per se, but we're like, we'll handle this. We're cool, like underworld types, and
But, like,
we'll.
Mortimer has no clue how to do this. Like, to fence a bunch of stolen goods from nobles, he's got zero fucking contacts on that.
That's okay because I'm an expert.
Yeah,
And
so he's trying to learn this because, this is going to be his skill.
Well, you
know?
found the right master because I'm the best, and this is just going to be so smooth and cool.
Yeah,
You know-
all right. Yeah, we're good.
So really, my contacts are with the Bloodletters, which is a strange Leviathan blood tattoo cult.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with fencing anything.
Sure.
But I'm like, hey, bro. I got some hot shit I need to unload on the street. You know, and I'm like speaking their lingo and trying to impress Mortimer, and
Sure.
I have a dot in consort, so I'm gonna consort the shit out of this.
Cool.
And we're gonna like come back with just like, making it rain.
Yeah.
So I think this is a what the hell type of downtime action is we're acquiring an asset
Okay.
with our ill-gotten gains. We're going to try to convert them into something Mortimer wants as our tech guy. Like, what if you could buy a thing that you can't currently get? What would you want?
So
Ghost horse.
Ghost boat. Mortimer has
Ghost boat.
Mortimer has the demon blood methadone, the Leviathan blood methadone.
Oh yeah.
He might be lacking a delivery system.
Sure. Like an aerosol or something, or
like a tattoo needle.
oh Lord. Oh no. Well,
I
I
have no
mean,
idea where this goes, but man, somewhere.
if that's what you want,
I mean,
and we
yeah,
go
what
down
is-
and we're like, we'll give you this bag of stuff we found for your tattoo gun.
Just picturing it like paintball. You just start sniping people.
And they look in the bag and it's like gold and jewels, and they're like, okay.
Oh, that's more like a t-shirt cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, the methadone is just like a scrolled up like prayer or something. Just whoomp.
Yeah. It's a T-shirt that says "Choose Life."
choose flesh.
You soak the paper in the methadone, and the paper cuts will slowly cure you. And all the paper just says like, "Hey, have you tried not being on drugs?"
All right, let's be real. So,
Yeah.
this is a good idea, but I think what we want is something that, like, a device. The bloodletters
Yeah.
have access to people who know how to weaponize Leviathan blood, let's say, and what we want in exchange for our swag is some tech for Mortimer to.
I mean, we can also leave it unspecified until you need it.
Right, some sort of
Yeah.
delivery system is vague enough, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and like I could even see Mortimer going along with some way of basically turning a syringe into a bullet and handing
Exactly.
it off, right?
Yep, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too. Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Right.
a grenade round that explodes, or whatever you want to make.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll write that down as like a methadone delivery system from
Yeah.
Bloodletters.
Cool.
So we're gonna acquire an asset together.
Mhm.
I have a die of consort. Do you want to help me?
Sure.
Okay. I'll take 2.
Trying to think of like the devil's bargain here. Like, I mean, I just keep taking that clock, or
I think we're on board with whatever your devil's bargain
Yeah.
is, probably.
like I pushing that clock works. And then
Oh, the bloodletters clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine for me.
Okay.
If anything, it's a problem for future us, you know?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And
Those
what-
games might not ever even happen.
If
I'm not worried about that.
if
And what
actually
future us?
anything, they're a score for future you.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
And what has future them ever done for us? I gotta say, I do things for them all the time.
It's true.
They don't do anything for me.
It's not reciprocal.
All right, I have incremented the clock.
Okay. Notes. Get the thingy. Okay. We got a 5?
Yeah. So you have a delivery system.
We do.
It's
That
even,
is not tier 0,
Yeah.
even.
yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
It's even vaguely shiny tier delivery system.
Yeah, so maybe on screen we just see like this, like a handoff, like a shady handoff.
Yeah.
We don't know what we got. We give them too much stuff, probably. And in exchange, Mortimer looks in it's like a briefcase, you like look inside.
Yeah. Or like a satchel.
Yeah.
Satchels.
I also have like
It's
this.
a Pulp Fiction briefcase.
Yeah. I have this this idea of a scene where, like, to make the already way too much money seem even grander, Harrington has like some doorknobs that he just throws at the bottom of the sack, so it just feels heavy. Yeah.
This is legit. It's
Yeah.
a lot of yeah. Yeah, cool. So we trade for
Yeah.
delivery system. We push the bloodletters fully into their alternative worship space. That's the last bit of money they needed to become a true demonic cult.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah, because I go and fix it properly. And
So I even know what it is. I could color it up a little bit if we want to like
It's
paint a picture for the people who've watched all 4 Blades shows that I've been in.
More blades.
It involves finishing the masonry in the basement. They're building something downstairs, and this is the we are like the last contributor to the fund, and they're able to finish their whatever the hell that is down there.
Stargate.
Yeah, exactly. That's not that you're not wrong.
altar complete with blood grooves.
isn't it like a Satara gate?
Yeah, that's a better way to put it, probably. Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
man.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
So I've got some homework. For one. And it's watch every game of Blades in the Dark that is on YouTube.
I could give you a summary if you don't have time for all that nonsense.
I mean, listen, I get to listen to shit at work. I can put it on the second monitor. The time will fly by.
Okay.
Let's do end of session though, because I think we're right on time.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
We have shenanigan for the appropriate.
I mean, I could probably keep going, but some people live on the improper coast, so.
Sorry.
I might die.
Hey, you had 3 hours sleep. That's like.
She's gone to Plaid.
All right. Beatrix,
Yes.
you addressed a challenge with coercion or violence or tracking.
Maybe.
You take your 2 and get out of my face. Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes, it did. So anti-supernatural. My former, Civil War background was Steiner, tracking, just not wanting to take part in the social shenanigans with the dude. It's not my forte at all. Not even forte, just not interested. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You. And then struggled with issues.
I only regret that I have only 2 XP to give for my country.
Seriously. God. Yeah. Yeah.
If we could give you 4, we would.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, for a season 2, if like we jump into in media res, like you've been Spirit Wardens for a bit, there's probably a power bump and a tier bump in there as well.
Yep.
Coraline Athenok
Hello.
addressed a challenge with deception or influence.
I deceived that guy when I pretended to be a warden. I used influence over the ghosts by basically knowing every single thing about them as I wanted to know it.
You are the Spiderous Slide.
Yes.
I believe it's called Splider. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you got there a little quicker than I did, Aaron.
Wow.
The filter disappears as I get tireder. See, and then it inevitably fails.
I added another trigger to your first thing just based on the conversation we just had. So it now says deception or influence or conspiracy.
You can edit those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. This sheet is the
shit.
greatest thing
It's-
ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got 2. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I mean, so there was, some complications because I'm a demon person and it sort of kind of ties us to things. And I think the whole being willing to put herself through a week of hell is kind of her ends justify the means thing, because like now I'm better equipped to deal with ghosts, and like now I can make them vulnerable if we need to take them out, when we need to take them out, that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
And did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I mean, I killed my boyfriend by inaction.
Is that a
And-
struggle?
The session where you get trauma, you should definitely get 1 XP for that.
Yeah.
Maybe another one, but you should at least get 1.
Fair. Yeah, you were just at one point.
I felt like there was another one, and I lost it.
I mean, it felt like a superpower a couple times. Where you're like, I just turn off the empathy switch,
Yeah.
and like it
absolute zero.
yeah.
Well, and this is why you get your 2nd XP, because we took 2 heat for that shit.
That's true. That is a very compelling argument.
You went over and murdered a guy you did not have to murder.
She leans down and looks at Lucia, and she's like, running compassion.exe. And then she goes, file not
File
found,
not
and then
found.
walks away.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Harrington. Addressed a challenge
yes.
with stealth or evasion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna take 1 for being stealthy in the operation. I think
You
I think 1
evaded
is
getting
fine.
stabbed.
Kinda.
I mean, it's not successfully
It was
addressed a
like,
challenge.
I
It's-
tried.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't have to be successful, so I tried. I'll sure. Okay.
Yep. It's the you tried consolation prize, right?
I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Belief drives heritage or background. I think background was the big factor.
Yeah.
Yep.
My underworld shit was
Yep.
the most important thing.
Mhm.
So I will take that. And vice or traumas.
I mean, you pushed the bloodletters halfway
Hmm.
along the
did.
clock, or like 3/4 of the way along the clock. I think so.
I did.
I don't
I
know
will
if it's a
take it.
struggle yet, but I mean, it will pay off.
I'll take 1. I'll
Okay.
take 1.
Okay.
It's not in my face yet, but it definitely is it's actually a big problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair enough.
It's just looming in the background.
Yeah, that means I filled my prowess, I filled my resolve, and I have 2 playbook XP.
Very nice.
So
Damn.
I gotta decide what to spend that on.
I should start putting points into my skills and not just getting abilities.
But abilities are cool.
Oh, wait.
Have you considered that?
I totally have enough to give myself sway, like another sway.
Oh, there you go.
So that seems up.
3 sway is
Appropriate.
definitely, yeah, I think that's in your future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mortimer, you addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem.
Well, let's see. I wrecked a vampire.
This takes into effect last session too, because it's the same job, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there is the whole electro majig.
You
broke.
swapped out, you
the
found
electromagnetic
Yep.
thing.
all that. Yeah.
And then, like, yeah. So I'm going to say 2 for that one.
Take
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one is beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think we've gotten to the drives of Mortimer a bit because
Mhm.
he cares about the people in the thing. Like,
Yep.
he's concerned about with Gray being attacked by a vampire, and like the same way he cares about the Dowager. It's not just like a mercenary relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, your background was totally on fire tonight. That was
Yeah.
like,
All right.
yeah.
Your background dragged you out of a party by your ear, dog.
Well, there's also we're getting to the next one there where it's like, hey, did your vice have any problems? Well, it got me ripped out of the operation halfway through. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works, right? Like sometimes everything aligns and you just keep getting XP for it. So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, take 2
yeah.
for the last one as well, because she dragged you out of
Oh,
the party and you spent a bunch of money on her.
Yeah. Alrighty. Woo.
I always say like take it when you can because like how many times on a job is the Dowager gonna show up and
Yeah.
right like this is like a very unique thing. So
Yeah.
if it's 4 XP, it's 4 XP.
Yep.
I was
Yay!
gonna say, Mortimer made me think of like that kid who's in trouble with his mom. It's like I can't save this game.
Yeah. Well, and like that was sort of yeah. I mean, like that's kind of the relationship there.
Right.
But like he's trying to grow out of that, and and we are totally at some point having to take down the family's current generation. I think that's.
All right.
It's good. It's good.
And finally, the whole lot of you. Execute
Oh,
a
yeah.
successful espionage, sabotage, or theft.
I mean, yeah.
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 I'm gonna
Would that
say
be 2? Since,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say it's 1 for the operation, and then someone also killed a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay, so there's that, and then also the session when we got the ability to go into the ghost field, we committed corporate espionage by basically sitting in on a board meeting.
we did
That's a good point. Yep.
Shadowrun.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's 2 regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got there.
Shadowrun, but with 9 hours per session spent. 9 hours less per session spent planning.
Significantly shorter.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Is someone keeping track of our crew XP, or is it just me?
I ticked it up 1, I think.
Okay, cool.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yeah.
Vampire.
Again, I think we get to count Noble Funeral score
Yeah.
and Vampire.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
agree
the
with
board
that.
meeting full of ghosts.
And the board
I mean,
meeting full of
yeah,
ghosts.
she's supposed to be the leader of that organization, and she's gone now.
Well, she was the head of recruitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
So,
well,
I mean,
like
took down a corporate VP. That's not bad.
So really, we did not optimize. We earned like 3 or 4, and we only got 2. So
yeah.
just think about that for the future.
Yeah.
And
Save some for the sequel.
What was our reputations again?
Do those apply?
I'm just gonna
I
give
think
you the
it's-
2 now.
I mean, we should probably talk about it. It's really subtle.
Yeah.
Well, and like
It's cowardly and drowsy, right? Those
Yeah.
are us.
Yeah.
Well, and like Beatrix leaving while the 3 people like interrogated dude is the inner conflict, right? And like there was a lot of this.
Yeah,
I
that was a
also-
lot.
I also let Harrington get stabbed.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to give away my position yet.
Mm-hmm.
I need it to be more obvious before I do something like that.
Awesome.
All right.
So that's
Okay,
another
that's a good point.
advance.
Yeah. I also point out that we had a contact of Fitz a collector, and none of us bothered to contact him with, we got a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of pictured he was who we talked to for that very first job with the music box. But then
Yeah.
we never really did anything with him afterwards.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. And I just,
Yeah.
it's totally funny because, like, I can totally see Mortimer's like, what? Yeah, I have no idea. And then Harrington's like, right now, I think a lot of problems in Harrington's mind can be solved at the bloodletters.
that's definitely That is 100% accurate.
What do I want for
Yeah,
dinner? I might as well get a
you know.
tattoo and mull it over.
yeah. Yeah.
Plus, like ambitious and reckless, it makes total sense that we went from like I don't know, we're kind of not really spirit wardens. 4 sessions, we're fucking spirit wardens. Fuck you. Like, yeah, that's
We're pulling the spirit wardens out of the fire at this point.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like spirit wardens should be us.
Yeah.
And now we can take synchronized,
Yep.
which is
Mhm.
real good. Slippery is also very good.
Yep.
Um,
Or I mean, patron seems like it has a
Patron
thing.
makes total sense.
Or
Yeah.
veteran, and we can look at other.
Yeah, veteran's totally an option. We could branch out
Yeah.
and take some. If we want to, I mean, the next time we play, there will be a Spirit Warden playbook, special abilities that we could take as veteran advances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
That-
let's hold off on that then, because
that's definitely an option.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This was real good. As the game designer, let me say one thing before we are just like talking amongst ourselves. When I designed this game, one of the main goals of the design was to create a system that could deal with crews and planning, scores, missions, operations, role playing, all there's like a lot of stuff going on in the traditional Shadowrun model, which is cumbersome, slow, hard to get off the ground, all kinds of roadblocks in your way, all kinds of reasons for why that is a slow process in general. And I think overall, the game has been a success in addressing those issues. But this group in particular in this 4-episode series is to me like a really important kind of case study for people out there watching. And I can't wait to share the VODs with everybody, because I think there are people who want to play at this pace and do stuff in this space without getting bogged down in a lot of slow nonsense. And I think this group has great chemistry, plus playing the game like at a high level has shown that you can rip through some really exciting stuff. And for me personally, not as a player in this game, but as the designer of Blades in the Dark, this was a really beautiful experience. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is a really wonderful thing, and thank you so much for sort of bringing that that part of the game to life in a way that is deeply satisfying to me.
I mean, I don't know how to follow that up.
Good.
Yeah. Well, for one, I don't know how to follow that up. Two, I mean, like, anything that looked good is the responsibility of everybody here right now.
Yeah.
Great portion of credit is due to John for writing the rules. I also want to just quickly point out, like, Jordan has been rolling funny shaped dice for a little over a year. Jonathan had never played Blades in the Dark before 4 Mondays ago.
It's crazy to me. I mean, people have lectured me at length online. Let's get real for a second here. Like, people often will like say, like, John, this game is fun and all, but like, it's very hard for new role players, and if you never played Blades before, you can't understand how it works, and it's clunky and it's hard to get into, and there's all this stuff you have to understand, and da 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 da. And part of me is like, that's fair criticism. Like, that is not out of bounds. Like, it's totally fair to have that reaction to the game, but there's always this little voice in the back of my head that's like, that's just not how it has to go, though. There's other ways to interact with this, and we shouldn't put that on Blades necessarily. Like, the 5 of us have used the tools extremely well to do the thing we're trying to do, and the tools are setting us up for some success. But it's like we're building a house, right? And we had good hammers and nails, but at the end of the day, like, we had to do it, and it was all of us together making that happen.
I think it would actually be the opposite, that there are certain role-playing games out there that ingrain certain methods of thought that are directly counterintuitive to what Blades wants to do.
That is definitely true. Yeah.
And, like, I know that, at least, like, I've been role-playing for fucking ever. But, like, the last couple of years, especially with the podcast crew, the games I've been playing with Andrew and stuff like that, we've really run away from those kind of games. And I mean, you can say that they're more narrative or whatever you want to, but I mean, I also think it's more the players having a sense of authorship and ownership inside the narrative. You know, it's not I'm awesome because I can roll 20s or whatever. It's I'm awesome because I came up with cool ideas that like worked really well with what Andrew had in mind, and I can keep things running with what you say, and that whole thing of collaborative storytelling.
100% agree, and I think that is a place where when there's a fail state, it's often in that space, because not everyone wants to do that. You know, some people want to show up and not have that responsibility as a player on their shoulders.
That's one of the reasons I think it's really important for the players and the GM. Like, before you roll a die, you need to sit down and make sure that everybody's on the same page with what you want to accomplish, or else, I mean, you're kind of already starting off on a bad foot. Like, you're fucking up the engagement roll right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and like,
Although to be fair, like we didn't go to extreme lengths to do that with this group. We got very lucky that everyone just had this great vibe and chemistry, and it worked exactly right.
Cool.
I really want to make a joke about the Simpsons Freemasons now.
We do. Yeah. So that was my game designer piece of the thing. Let me switch gears. As a player, thank you guys so much to playing this game with me. You're amazing role players, and I've been playing role-playing games for 35 years, and I do not say this lightly. This is one of the best game groups I've ever been in. As a role player, like this is fantastic, and I want everyone to watch this. I'm gonna just share it everywhere. You guys are fantastic, so thank you.
Get the VOD. No, get the VOD Leviathan blood tattooed on your back and just flex a lot, and people can watch you.
Oh.
All right. So
It's
yeah,
been a hell of a year.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we've been That D&D podcast. This has been a lot of fun. We're going to try to do a season 2 hopefully soon. We're still working on scheduling. We just know we want to do one. Quite frankly, like, yeah, this is probably some of the most fun I've had rolling funny shaped dice with strangers across the internet. And increasingly less strange strangers, which has been pretty cool. But yeah, we've been That D&D podcast. Find us on social media. Follow John Harper because he goes on good rants about game design, and every Friday starts retweeting people who are doing cool shit in the space. Yeah. We broadcast live on Twitch. This will be up on YouTube before too long. Thank you, and have a very pleasant and good evening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.